Hey guys, welcome to the Loadout episode 3. As always, your host Stearns, joined by Case, Jordie, and
Yo,
Jayden.
howdy,
Um,
howdy.
Obviously today, it's going to be an interesting show because we don't know matches tomorrow, but we're just going to be, recapping a few things that have been happening, a few more developments on a few stories that we cross touch on last week, as well as our fantasy and tips and everything like that.
Can't
So,
wait for Fantasy Center.
yeah, we won't talk about that just yet. Um, Obviously, the boys want to keep giving you content. Um, So we're back here again this week, even though there's a bit of a break, and I might go missing every so often because duty calls. They stand up and walk around, but um, the boys will carry on in my absence at that point. So anyway, we'll pass over to Case. How you going, Case? How's your day?
Thanks, Turner. My week hasn't been too bad. I've flipped teams. Fuck Optic. We'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, just excited to get back and talk with the boys. But yeah, not a lot going on for me.
Jayden?
Yeah, good mate. Bit crook at the moment, but we move forward from that. Obviously a bit disappointed we have such a long break in between games now, but I think it'll roll back around pretty quickly, being the time of year it is. So it'll be back before we know it. But yeah, other than that, mate, just working, getting ready for Christmas and all that good fun.
Yeah, in the Christmas spirit. Jordie?
Mm.
Yeah, not too bad. Crazy week, very hot, so stay inside. That's pretty much
Stay
it.
inside. Fair
Have
enough.
you got your
You're
power
right.
back yet, mate? Obviously.
Yeah.
So we might as well just jump straight into it. Anyone have any thoughts over the previous week? Anything, stand out? Anything in the games? Any interesting points you want to bring out before we get into the actual matches themselves? Anyone want to take us away?
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Go, Jay.
I'd probably say Ravens being on top 4-0 is probably one of the biggest surprises overall. And I'd probably also say Falcons getting around off phase and how they've been, I guess, performing as a team. Um, I guess yeah, again, very surprised at them. That's, yeah, what I've got for
They
today.
faced lost a respawn to Falcons, but
Yeah.
anyway, I'm
mm.
probably surprised with Boston. Come on the record and call them pretty shit, and I think they've been playing pretty well. So yeah, they've been winning hard points, and they're really good at search as well with a lot of game fives that they've won. And on the other hand, probably Miami needs to sort of figure out their search and destroy hiccups with pretty much splitting even with some good teams, and then getting to game five and not having any ice or like really any strats. Like you just see them running around the map doing whatever. Just looks like they're playing ranked play. So um, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Obviously for me, Ultra being 4-0, pretty good start for them. They look really good. I think they're going to go quite deep in a lot of the tournaments that we're watching here soon. They just seem like to have the way they've adapted together so quickly as well, is really impressive. And obviously there was a close one with Miami and whatnot, but I think they look really good. And obviously with what Case just said as well about Boston, I'm also in the same boat. I'm very eager to keep a bit of an eye on them in the upcoming minor and just see if they, are a better looking team this year, which I think they might be at this rate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just looking at one thing quickly. So we might as well get straight into the matches. When we go forward. So just bring up the breaking point. So we start off the week with a Los Angeles Thieves versus LAG. It was an interesting one because the first week LAG got stomped. LAT looked really really good, and we come into this one, and the rewind hardpoint got very mixy, and LAT could have almost lost that. They did well on the skyline, then they got smacked on the vault, and then that Skyline finish was one of the most weird hardpoint finishes you'll see in a long time. So LAG pushed Thieves in hardpoint, and that's their best game mode. So if we look down a bit, it's a bit interesting. Priest gets fried again, and Scrap shows out for probably his best series of the year. We'll start off with Case. What were your thoughts on this series, Case?
Yeah, it really should have been a LAT 3-0. I think they played the control terribly. Just going back to map 1, it looked like LAT were going to smoke them. I think they got 4-0'd, 4 down straight away off the rip, lost P2 rotation, and then by P3 it was like 80-1 or something. So from there I thought, oh, this is going to be game over. But LAG did really well to claw back and almost win the game. So even though it was a 3-1, I honestly thought it should have been more lopsided to LAT. But when LAG were in their flow state, they did really well and nearly won this game.
Jayden?
100%. I can't remember who was talking about it, but I was sort of listening to the podcast the other day, and they're talking about LAT potentially, like when they're versing some of like the lower bracket teams, they're probably not going to perform as well due to the fact that I think they're just built to be really versing those big dogs, and that's when they're really going to, have their best performances. But that being said, I think Kismet was pretty huge for this series as well. I've been had a bit of doubt on him so far this year, but I think he dropped like a 1.62 in the control. And how good do LAG look at control at the moment, just quietly? They seem to be playing that vault pretty bloody good at the moment.
Yeah, that's because they're not scared to push spawns and spawn trap a little bit. Like a lot of teams aren't spawn trapping, and you'll see it on ranked all the time that spawn trapping is the best way to keep them in the base, and like you can control half the map, so or more than half the map. So
yeah, what's their record on there now? Are they undefeated or have they lost one? I'm not sure. It's either 0 or 1. I can't remember the exact stat, but all I know is that everyone, like every other team I've heard talk about them, are just like, yeah, they're the best on that map and mode at the moment, which is interesting because they've been, fairly dog shit and everything else so far, but they definitely played well against 100T.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're 3-1 in it, and LAT are 1-3.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Get into that there.
And I think that one was that one against Ping Heavy C9? Was that Vault Control?
Sorry. I'm pretty sure that's the rounds. They just won 3 rounds.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they're 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 3-1 or 4 or something.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, interesting series. Obviously 2 very, very close hard points as well, which was a great watch. So definitely keeps us on the edge of our seats. And Scrappy ended up being huge.
Point come down right to the wire, and they just somehow scraped in, and I think the LAT boys are like, what the hell?
I think
Envoy
won that 1v1 and
2v1, yeah.
Second. Yeah.
I mean, well, you can't win them any closer than that. So,
These guys was even yelling like, "Oh, nice!" Like they've won the map, and just last second, oh shit.
Yeah, it was a good series, but yeah, obviously 100T's prevailed, which I think we all thought would happen, but a lot closer than we thought.
Yep. We'll move on to the next one. Sorry. We have Cloud9 versus Minnesota Rocker, and after the first week, everyone was kind of skeptical of, everyone kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt for the ping cheese, whatever. And then they come out this series and got the job done in 3. They looked very good in the hard points, especially my boy Mac. Mac was frying in these, especially that first protocol hard point. He was him. It was a better showing from Geo. Nero did his thing. It was a pretty up and down series. The Vault control was not close. Minnesota Rockers smoked them on that. But they could have easily won either the first or second map, and it could have gone to map 5. But Cloud9 sewed up in 3. 4, sorry. Jordie, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I think it was a matter of time of, when these guys just showed up and did what they had to. Mac is unreal this series. I think it was the sub duo again, led down by the AR duo, but they managed to get them over the line.
Yeah. Mac was absolutely stupid in that first hard point, especially. Wasn't he like 15-2 or something, 15-3? It was something ridiculous to start the game. I know he was absolutely huge, but I think a big discussion point at the moment is just how bad Thib's playing at the current time.
I want
Like,
to speak about this.
yeah, oh, don't worry, mate. I was watching closely just his performance over the weekend. But yeah, dropped to 0.75 for the day. I think the search was an absolute stinker from memory. I know it might have
He
been
was
another
horrible.
game, but
It was horrible.
yeah, he's not performing well at the moment. And I think another thing to look at as well was we've hated on this guy pretty heavy this year, and he wasn't, amazing, but I think Estriel was a lot better the week that just went as well. His stats say he dropped to 1.13, so obviously he's not in the red, so that's a good start. But yeah, I mean 3-1, C9 looked like they were playing, pretty well with a bit of confidence, especially Mac. So
Yeah.
I think we need to highlight how good Mac was. He was unreal.
yeah, he was
I think
like
I think
amazing.
I think Esther as well. He took a real step up and he played really well. Probably the maps that they played probably suits a subby. On protocol, if you can rock with two subbies and play underneath, and on Skyline you can just run at everyone. So I think this map pool kind of suited him, and Max showed out. He was unbelievable and showing how much of a franchise player he could be to
Yeah.
any roster. As
Let-
well, Nero was really good. He 1v3'd in the search as well. Went down to round 11, couldn't do too much. He also started the round 1 control 11-1, got to art real quick, and then just killed everyone there. So pretty much won them that round. And then from there you can snowball and really push momentum into the next few rounds for there.
Yeah, but it was Cloud9 comeback party gave you a bit of a glimpse of what they can do, and I feel like Minnesota had a bit of a letdown weekend. They had the chance to get a couple more wins or another win and really push themselves into that thing, but now they're 2-2, and they need to win one of their last 3 games. I'm pretty sure their last 3 are pretty hard too. They want to win, 2 of those probably to make winners, and it's going to be pretty tough, but we will see.
I think it was a good series from C9.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
They're
100%.
much better team than Rocker, so for them to win really wasn't that much of a surprise, but it's really good for them to see and get results on the board.
Yeah.
Just quickly, their next few games they got Ultra, and then they got FaZe in the same weekend, and then the weekend after that they got Surge.
Yeah, it's 3 tough games. They probably need to win one of the Ultra or FaZe games. As well as
Minor, they've got
Vancouver.
Ravens and Vancouver. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're 2 pretty good teams as well. Been playing
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, Cloud9. Cloud9, we'll talk about the minor later anyway, but yeah. Next game, we have Miami versus Boston, and oh my god, what the fuck is going on with Miami Search? They were abysmal this weekend. They just got smoked in both searches in this. Looked alright in the respawn, but damn. Yet again, Boston mainly negative except for Big Joe Wake, who was frying. But they just get it done in hardpoint and searches. So we'll start with you, Jayden. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, well, you summed it up pretty well, mate. Like, Miami Search at the moment's just, like, you watch them, I don't even know what they're trying to do. Like, you can't really see a strategy. At this point, with the results they've had so far, they're better off just going out and trying to get as many kills as they can and hope for the best at this point, because whatever they're trying to do currently isn't working. Because as you can see, they won 4 rounds over the 2 search and destroys in that series. So they've obviously had a very, very tough time at the whole, qualifiers so far. I think just quietly as well, like Boston have been a lot better this year. I mean, Cammy is a bit up and down at the moment. I think he's having some really good performances, but then he's having some not so good performances at the same time. But I also think Purge has been quite good so far from what I've seen. He seems to be like reasonably consistent with what he's done. And on the respawns, Miami obviously look a lot better, especially with like Rincon Real. They just do business a lot of the time. So it was an interesting series. I think these are both teams we'll have to look at closely for the rest of the year as well.
Really not surprised to see Purge improve from his last stint on Vegas. Just there's a lot more kills on the map. He's playing with people that aren't really going for. They're not playing to grab as many kills as they can. They're playing really good COD actually. Like they're set up really well. Like they're rotating really well. Yeah, and I think Snoopy's just being really good too. He's really been the forefront of this team. He's from his week 1 performance. He's really translated that into week 2 as well. Awakening and Cameo, I've been on the record. I hate them, so I'm not really going to talk about them. But they're obviously playing okay to get some wins on the board. Some wins like against this my only team. Like this series was fucking terrible. I wrote down notes and I said Boston Heretics. My note was who cares? Heretics suck. So that's all I wrote down in my notes. So
Yeah, but how Snoopy's definitely one of those absolute movement freaks, isn't he? Like he's just gonna obviously get better and better, but you'll put him in that same sort of scary barrier movement wise as like a Shotzi or like a Hydra. Obviously not as good, but in that sort of echelon.
he's definitely next to them, I think.
All right, everyone happy to move on?
I just want to quickly bring up Snoopy breaking a GA and getting red carded.
Oh yes.
Get a red.
He was stair
Yeah.
glitching, copped a red.
No pun intended, or
Yeah, pretty much.
Has there been any news about the punishment on that, Jord?
I haven't seen anything. I don't know. They probably might have, but map 1 vault line stairs looking into mid, and he was stair glitching those and managed to pick up a kill.
Really?
So, yeah.
That'd be the last spot I'd pick out of all places that you'd stair glitch.
And
like you'd pick cat or like accidentally do mid doors or something. But
Octane pulled it out straight up, like bang, called it out.
Yeah, no, they were all over it, weren't they?
you would have been listening, Ern. You would have been
Absolutely
in there.
In there like
Yeah,
sweat.
you'd have been in the top 0.1% of the of the Zoomer Twitch recap, wouldn't you?
Oh fuck! I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Next week.
As of the punishment, I have no idea.
Yeah, no one knows, but we might hear something about it soon. If we do, we'll let you know.
Mm.
And then we got one more game to round out the first day, and it was Optic Texas versus Vancouver Surge. This was the first game we see Hook, the Nuke, back on Optic against his old side Vancouver, and as we see, the first map, Seattle pulled it's not Seattle, Surge pulled it out, and they look pretty good on it. But then Optic just kind of sped around the rest of the series and body slammed them. Fucking Hicksy had a 0.6 for the series. Shitsy was just shit. Shotsy and Dashy, back to doing their thing, and the Hook gave a pretty good series out of him. Kenny's still struggling a bit, but they're winning games. Who cares? The first match of Boozer actually drops the kill record. Gets 45 kills, broke the record from Hydra, which was like 43, I think, the week before, 42. And it comes out.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think Scrap got 43.
Yeah.
I think it was against Rocker, maybe? I can't remember.
Yeah, well, anyway, Bruiser broke that, gets 45.
LHE.
Yeah, it was pretty good first map from him. Dashy also had 42 on that map as well, so there was kills going around the board. And then after that, it was just, Team Optic all the way. Not much else. Case, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I'm still not sure why Optic are playing red card. Like, I think JP said that they're really good at scrims, but it's just not translating to matches. Like, they've lost to some pretty bad teams in respawn on red card. So I think you're gonna have to pick something else or potentially ban it. I think they're pretty good at the other maps. Rewind's coming out in the next patch, so that probably helps them as well. They're not really a Rewind fan. But other than that, I thought Dashy's really good. He's stepped up from last year, even though he was unbelievable last year as well. He's just doing everything for him. really just picking up the slack where Kenny probably hasn't starred or is living up to expectation as a two-time world champ, and Shotzi as well. And on Hicksy too, I did say last week that I wanted to see another week of Hicksy. Like he dropped good stats, but he was always like getting shit on sometimes and losing one-on-ones that he probably should be winning. And he kind of got found out this week as well against some better sides that when he's not shooting, he's pretty much costing the team.
Yeah, he had like 9k damage overall throughout the whole series. Dropped to 0.62. I just sort of like we've already mentioned Dashi, but that map 1, he's dropping 42 with nearly 3 minutes time, and they're still losing. That's just unreal.
100%.
I don't know how you can have that mental and not check out, but I guess the difference
Yeah.
between pro and off.
Yeah, bloody oath. But yeah, I obviously follow Optics, so I watch that one quite closely, and I just hope Dashi can stay this locked in all year, because watching him at the moment, especially in like some S&Ds where he's just coming in so clutch in a lot of rounds too. Like he's like, sometimes he's a 1v2, 1v3, and some of the 1v3s he's gone close to pulling off as well, which is just, nuts. And yeah, as Jord was saying, that hard point with 3 minutes on and also, 40 odd kills is just ridiculous. But yeah, I think him and Shotzi are definitely, up there in MVP contention at the moment, that's for sure. And I think Hook obviously complements the Search and Destroy a hell of a lot too. He looked really good. On that red card, I think he dropped like a 7-2 behind Dashi's 9-2. So definitely one of his game modes. It looks like he just reads the game and has really good timings with a lot of the moments in Search as well. So
yeah, okay.
I think red card's that map where you can sit on the hill as well and you can hold angles. So he wasn't really kitting, like he was just getting on the hill and holding like a head glitch. Like a lot of those hills are really good for the ARs. And I actually like red card as well. I think it plays really well. The spawns are predictable.
Yeah.
There's not much split spawning, I want to say. Probably maybe P2. If you push out, they might spawn back behind you and then go into new P3. But apart from that, I think it's really predictable and control mid, and you control most of the map. So
yeah. And just quickly as well, the two maps that Vancouver got smashed on, map 2, map 4, 04 dropped a 1 and 7 on the Search and an 11 and 26 on the last hard point. So he had a couple of absolute stinkers and obviously wasn't very happy on Twitter after the game either, from the looks of it. I think you know a bit more on that, don't you, Sterner?
Boozer, yeah, he just...
Oh, was it Boozer? Was it? I thought it was 04.
No, it was a Boozer. He
Yeah.
can't fucking get a kill from where he's at.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a breakdown.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the next match, which doesn't really need much speaking about, but it's Ultra and Vegas. Yet again, you look down. Kicks is positive. Khalid is shooting. Diddy, the rest of his team ain't. But yeah, Jordie and Kleenex both did their thing, and it was a pretty straightforward series. Hardpoint. Search was close, he went to around 11, but they won pretty easy on the control. Get Khalid some help, for fuck's sake. That's all I'm going to say. Case, what are your thoughts?
we all predicted Toronto 3-0. I don't think this is really surprising. They nearly choked the protocol. I think round 10, Kleenex got a quick 3-piece underneath in computers, which was pretty handy going into the last map. And you know how Toronto is, they've been in that situation a lot this year. So to close it out, it's probably not surprising. Beans has been really good this year. I really like him, even though some people on the panel at the moment don't like him. But you can't deny if he's shooting, he's shooting. So
yeah.
it's probably because how he looks, little rat. But yeah,
Sorry.
King Aboudi, as they call him, or Shotzi calls him, needs to go.
Yeah.
He's
Just-
no good.
He's not up to the level, is he? Like he's just not where he needs to be. And but yeah, Kleenex absolutely ridiculous at the moment, mate. Like the team's 4-0. He's absolutely shredding every map he plays on at the moment. Like, he'd be in the top few for like probably leading the MVP race at the moment, surely, with the way he's playing. But you know, they've got a very good team. I think they all complement each other a lot as well with a lot of their play styles. And as much as I don't like Beans, he is a quite good player. So, yeah, and obviously Falcons. I had bloody Ultra 3-0 in the Search and Destroy on Protocol, and they had me very stressed. I'll say that much.
One thing I just want to bring up as a positive for Falcons, like they're losing, 250 to 186, which is like, I mean, I know they lost, but like that's pretty good considering how new they are and how badly they're getting shit on. I think there's only been a few games where they've been like 50-point clubs, and majority, not probably more than half of their games have been pretty close. Just as a
They're
positive,
definitely
if you
surprising. Yeah,
yeah,
they're
just
definitely
as a positive
surprising
for
with how
them.
good they are.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, definitely the Kicks. He's pretty good. He needs some help ASAP.
Very good. The boys have been grinding, rank play and stuff, and trying to play with some of the other players. So I like how they're going about it. I think Clay is getting them playing the right way, which helps them get to these stat lines where they're making it close, and hopefully with a bit more practice and a bit more time that they can start taking more maps. I think they've only won 2 maps, and one of them was off phase, and another was a search and destroy against Carolina, who's a pretty good search team. So I think they're not doing too bad with their first 4 games in the league. It'll be interesting to see how they go in the minor, as well as the major. But other than that, this is a clean 3-0 from Ultra for the most part. We all predicted it. They were pretty good odds too. So
I think is it Exnid that's been playing a bit of rank play with like shots in stuff.
Yeah.
A few funny clips if people have been on Twitter.
him and King of Booty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just gonna have a look at.
Yeah, there was that one where Shotzi was asking whether he had a girlfriend or something, wasn't it? That was pretty
Yeah.
funny to watch.
Yeah, and saying that was to Ram and
Oh, that
stuff.
was excellent.
Yeah. That was at Exnit,
Yeah.
was it? Yeah. Yeah.
So it was. Our next game was LAG and Optic. This one went down the wire. You know, LAG had 2 good performances in a row. Yet again, won the vault control. Went pretty well on the score and hard point, and yeah, just lost in S&D. Kismet had a good showing. Dashy trying to hard carry the rest of the team. Hook had a bit of a stinker this map, went minus 23 for the day. But clutched up hard in the S&D at the end. Jayden, you want to start with the Optic?
Yeah, 100%. Again, what you were sort of saying, Dashy again, just being Dashy. He was definitely by far the best player on the day for Optic. Kept them in. Obviously, the maps they lost, he was keeping them in that as best as he could. And Hook had a absolutely stinker of a day, honestly. He had a 0.47 in the first map, 0.38 in the second, 0.85 in the third, and it was pretty much saved by his search and destroy in the map 5. I think he dropped to 2.5, and he had a pretty big clutch up near the end of it as well. So he did look quite average and a bit lost, but they got the job done. But I think we all know if LAG play well on the day, they're going to be quite competitive with a lot of teams. But it's just been a lot of inconsistency with it so far. But Kismet again had a really, really good day. He dropped as you said, like a 1.24, and he was absolutely, destroying like Optic on some of those maps. Like it's just his name in the kill feed the whole time. But again, I think there was a map 1 where Priester was like, so he's like, was it this game where he's like double negative or something, and
He was double
then
neg and then ended up
yeah,
frying. Just like someone's got to help Dashy. He's dropping 41.
Yeah.
2 minutes on the hill, and they're losing. Or they're winning, sorry. But someone's got to help him. Like
yeah. I mean, Shotzi does a pretty good job at that. I feel like it's I feel like Kenny's an interesting topic to talk about because I think he is trying to do too much at the moment. Like, just shoot your gun back, mate. keep it simple. Just shoot. Don't worry about all the other stuff. Like, obviously, he probably is somewhat their in-game leader in a way, but just keep it simple. Just shoot your gun. Don't try and do too much, and I feel like he'd be performing a lot better. But yeah, there's been a lot of red from Kenny this year. A lot of red.
He looked
Too
okay
many
in the
for my
vault.
fantasy.
He looked okay in the vault, to be fair, but yeah, still.
Yeah.
Jordie.
Any green or what? I don't think
Yeah.
there's been any green.
Nah, he had some green on the map too. He got a 1.33. And then he went even on the 1.33 on the map 2, even on the map 3, and then just red rivers everywhere.
Okay, so Jordie, what did you think of the series?
You go, Jord.
Just more on LAG. Like, I think they were in the same boat as sort of like maybe like a Boston or Vancouver, where like if they show up, they're pretty good. I guess you could say that for all their players. And then like Priester on a map could go. What do you go? Went neg on the control, and you got to like Kismet carrying. He needs help, and Priester isn't going to show up. But on the day, they could be good. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
That many
Shit
times
from
this
them.
team just feels like a front-running team. Like once they're getting a few kills and they're in that mode, they'll just keep frying out. But as soon as their back's against the wall, they're just nowhere to be seen, kind of thing. I think Kismet and Lynn's probably the two most, like they're pretty aggressive ARs and they just love running at you. So once you're in that mode and you got a few kills, you start skiing, I guess, and you can really take the game away from your opponent. But then again, when it comes really tough and perfect setups for teams, they struggle a little bit. So apart from that, I think Priester again, yeah, not a great showing from him. But it did go to 5 games, which you all predicted it would be a 3-0 sweep from Optic. I think they're really good on their Skyline hardpoint. I assume they picked it here, Team B, so they picked map 2, 3, and 4. Or not map 3, sorry, but they get one of the two, which is always Vault anyway. So
Yeah.
in map 4, picking Skyline, they do really like that map. They played it really well against LAT as well. I thought LAT would stomp them. It might not have to be uploaded to YouTube. It might be on the hub. So for that one to go down to 1 point, I was really surprised. So clearly they're pretty good at this map. And yeah, apart from that, nothing else from me really.
Just because they've had like just a bang out map, and
Yeah,
that's the sort of players that they are. They're just up in your face. ARs they're fast. Subs are on their day can be really good.
yeah. I think they struggle with a bit of structure, and that's probably why you see them have these ebb and flows. Like they're really good at one point, then they might come to it the next map and they're really bad. So a bit more structure, and that's probably where some other players on their other teams, like Priester was doing it sometimes, and Skies was doing it sometimes the previous years. But I feel like they're just trying to shoot more and really not really focus on how they should play optimally, and really just playing for whatever. So
For sure.
Okay. We'll move on to the next one, which was my most interesting match of the round, was Carolina versus Atlanta FaZe. And this wasn't really close. Carolina absolutely stomped them that one, and legitimately looks like they've just made FaZe look like Vegas. They just took him by the throat, ran with it, and pissed on him. Gwyn was superb. TJ was doing his thing, and Vivid looked really good in this map one. People might say it's glazed, but I wanted Carolina to show something against a decent team, and we all know FaZe is a decent team, even though they've got their struggles and that. But they went out there and did their business. Map 2 Search, Gwyn yet again, absolutely fantastic and slasher. And map 3 was a bit more close, but yet again TJ and Gwyn just did their thing on the subs. Um, alarm bells singing for FaZe. I'm not too sure. Carolina look really, really good. Hopefully they keep that up, but I'd like to see them be one of the hardest teams to practice these next 3 weeks. They could get a bit complacent and everyone can catch up, but at the moment they seem like they're just in front. But you need them to put their foot down and continue to show out. Otherwise, they're just going to get caught very quickly and go back to the middle of the pack. I'll start off with Case this one. What did you think of the series? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, as you said, wasn't really close. I would absolutely agree with that. This was not close. FaZe look absolutely horrible. No discredit to Ravens. I thought they were really good too, especially in the respawns. But yeah, FaZe just look like they look lost, which is really hard to say with the caliber players on their team. That they don't really know how to play respawn, which is crazy to me. They should be dominating these respawns. But you'll see teams with, especially Reese Vivid, he was really good as well. Teams that normally have players like him on it, even like Beans and stuff, like they're really good at the early stages of the year. You see Ultra 4-0 as well. Teams like Kleenex, and especially Vivid too, like they're really aggressive and they can hit timings and stuff really quickly. They'll learn it probably quicker than others. They really get ahead of the game really early and they can start loading up these 10 pro point games and hopefully get to champs. But yeah, everyone had FaZe winning. Wasn't surprised after map 1 that they got stomped map 2 and 3. They kind of choked the control a little bit, but that's what happens with Volt. You lose a offensive round and you can really just snowball from there.
Jayden, what did you think of the Carolina performance? And what do you think about FaZe's troubles early in the season?
Honestly, I've been pretty skeptical on Carolina all year, but they just keep finding another way to shut me up. So they're playing extremely well at the moment. Already been said, TJ huge, Gwyn huge. I mean, Slash is really performing extremely well as well. Like he had the most damage for them on the day as well. So obviously he's getting a lot of shots where they're meant to be and making it a lot easier for the guys around him as well, which is always, handy to have on a team. And it's definitely the best I've seen Slasher play in quite a while as well. I can't remember which COD it was where like he would have been close to MVP one year, wouldn't he? There was a COD where he just absolutely fried all year. Can't remember
World War
what year it
II,
was.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just absolutely. If I don't think he's quite at that level, but he's getting up there to that point again. And yeah, as Case said, FaZe just look absolutely, lost at the moment, which is something we've probably never said about them at the start of a COD. So I think we spoke about it in the first episode. They're usually the team everyone else is following to get, early game strategies and all that sort of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see where they go and how they fix this. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting minor, that's for sure.
And lucky last, FaZe boy himself, Jordie. Tell me what's going on with the boys, mate.
Honestly, couldn't tell. Like, I'd love to. I hope that they release some kind of like listen in for comms because I would assume their comms would be like fugazi. I'd imagine that's probably the biggest thing for them is their communication. Because obviously these four arguably like what maybe like all within the top 10, probably even like top like 8 of players in the league.
Yep.
So I'd assume it's something to do with not having an IGL or just communication is probably the biggest thing for them. Thank God we've got a massive break for them to get locked in and hopefully bring it back. I was going to bring up that what is it? They haven't been 3-0'd in like nearly 550 days or something, or like since like the introduction of CDL. Something stupid like that. But
It was
yeah,
500. It was like the beginning of the end of Vanguard or the beginning of MW2 or something.
yeah, yeah, crazy. I was going to bring up the control because start 2-0 and then they get swept. It's just you can't be doing that. Silly.
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to touch on quickly. I forgot. The first week, Carolina, the only thing you could have said about them was their control. They looked a bit iffy. In the one match they played, Vegas on it. Obviously they won, but the other one they looked a bit iffy, and Slasher was kind of getting pissed on. But they won both controls this week, and my boy feeling like Tej fried out in this one. So I know we usually leave questions at the end, but Hugh has a good question. While we're talking about FaZe struggling, if you had to drop one member of FaZe right now, who would it be and why? And we'll start with Jordie, the fanboy, and we'll go
Yeah.
down.
Alright,
Hey,
so if I'm,
Jordie,
if
just
you're,
talk about something good.
I've already said this multiple times, and because it's so recent, I'm dropping Cell and I'm bringing in Pred and putting Simp on Flex.
Okay. Why?
That'd be big.
What if
Why?
Pred wasn't available? Like, why couldn't they do this
If-
at the end of
yeah.
last year and try to pick someone up? Like, I don't know. Like,
They
No,
surely
won't,
but
they've
obviously.
two weeks into this game, you already abandoned what you wanted to do.
Well, no, but the question is if you had to. But if I had the choice, I wouldn't be. I'd be sticking with it for at least this. I don't know, maybe till like the middle of the year, or even just stick it out for the year and see how they go. If not, then blow it up.
Jayden?
I probably agree with Jordie. I'd probably it had to be like Cell. I mean, it feels like to me whenever FaZe have ever played bad, he's usually the one that people are questioning. Like you don't really see much happening in terms of questioning from like a Beezy or Simp. Draza is probably up there with I don't know if he's been performing too well this year, but yeah, I mean, you're not seeing a Beezy or Simp get dropped from that team ever, unless one of them want to leave for one reason or another. But yeah, I think if it was going to have to be anyone, it'd be Cell, and maybe pick up an Ely. I don't want him to go near Pred, but I think Ely would probably be the smartest option, probably one of the only options. But yeah, so I just don't know if they'll actually do that change because I think it's a massive improvement. Ely's obviously good, but yeah, that'd probably be the only thing that I could think of.
Case?
Yeah, I'd say the same. Drop Cell, even though I think Cell is really probably at times can be the best player on this team. I think you just with what happened last year and everything that's gone on, I think you have to drop Cell. And if you're going to pick someone up, there's not really great options. Probably Illy and Pred are the best. But again, like based on last year's stuff, you wouldn't see Pred going over. But I'm not sure. Like they wanted to drop Cell before EWC last year and pick someone up. I assume they wanted another SMG pickup, a Beezy and the new pickup as the SMGs and Simp on the flex. But I'd be getting Illy for Cell at this current time. But yeah, I'm not too sure what they would have done last year. George, do you know anything about that and who they potentially were targeting?
I don't think they were at all. I think it was rumors. I think it was just a lot of, I guess you could just say haters, just making up rumors. But yeah, I don't think it was ever going to happen. I mean, I don't know. If if it didn't happen, maybe it did, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
Someone like an Envoy or something could have gone onto the squad and been really good. Simp on the flex just seems a bit trolly. I think he's one of the best SMGs. Probably is the best SMG in the
Yeah.
league at the moment, or him or Hydra.
Because there's options like, yeah, you got Illy, and then you got the NA. We'll talk about it a bit later, but the NA Challenger Cup winners. You got like Alec or who else is it?
Spa.
Alex in Spa, but yeah, I think Illy at the moment, like during right now, it'd be probably Illy.
But again, you're not improving your team, so I
No.
don't,
And you're just
I
making
can't see
someone
it
else
happening.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
And you can't just be repeating what they've been doing for the last few years and dropping like the, I guess you'd
The
say,
third man,
yeah,
fourth man.
the fourth man.
And it's just
Because
so
it's
hard
taking-
with all those top teams because if they have someone that's not performing, you got to look at it at that perspective. Is unless you've got someone really up and coming through the league, performing like saying how Pred was, where Optics started looking at him, then you're not really seeing, a massive upgrade there, then, you may as well just stick it out and just try and get, have chats with that player, work with that player that's not performing well to try and get them back up to where they were rather than, just putting a hole in the team and bringing someone in that probably won't perform as well at their best as, say, the player that was already there was.
I think the Terrors need to split up, but again,
Yeah.
like you're picking up no one better, so
It's due, but that's always
really
the
hard.
problem, isn't it? It's definitely
Yeah.
due, but at the same time, I was like, okay, who are they getting?
Unless it was like a straight swap for another SMG and like Ultra or
I mean, it's gonna need to be a pretty good SMG to
Yeah.
straight swap with the Beezy. That's the only problem.
yeah.
Alright, am I going to say mine now?
Yeah,
Go
go
on,
on.
mate.
It's none of the four. I'm not dropping anyone. I'm dropping Crowder. Something's going wrong. They need a new coach. Poor Tupac got fucking fired, and these cunts have looked like dog shit in S&D. I think they need a change. It might not be the Tiny Terrors. I think it's Chris Crowder's time, the GOAT coach, but obviously he's not getting them three to work together. Time to bring some new blood in. That's my opinion.
You could be
Great
onto something,
coach.
Sterner.
Mm.
Goat
I've been
coach.
following his.
Mate.
Oh, sorry, Case.
Rambo's the goat coach.
Crowder was the GOAT coach for 3 years, and he's fallen off like Simpers.
Yeah,
Damn.
Sterner, I reckon that could be
Yeah.
my issue, mate. I've been following his YouTube video tips, so maybe that's why I'm stuck in gold too.
Crowder. How to improve. Just
Big
back
City,
on
mate.
phase. Ben J is crashing out as well on C9, posting some stuff on Twitter about Tupac, because Tupac said something how he got fired, and Ben J was not happy with C9 reposting it and adding a few
Oh
words.
yeah, that was
You're saying, "Oh my god, like management."
Cry baby cheese him.
Yeah, and he was, and then
you
he's
wouldn't
just,
know you're not management or some shit.
yeah, he's hitting Octane and Zuma with some absolute cheese, saying, "This is why you're not in management. You don't understand." Like, okay,
Yeah, they've only been in the scene for like
let it
fucking
go.
15
That was a
years
good
and whatever.
impersonation too. You don't know, Sam. You don't know.
We got one more game on the second day. It was Boston versus Vancouver. And yet again, Boston won game 5. They won more game 5s than they did the whole of last year in the first 2 weeks. Yet again, doing their thing. Looked awesome in the rewind. And Vancouver went bang bang. Looked like they were going to run away with it. And then Boston just smoked them on the vault and then won a hard point. We got Snoopy with the 1.48 in hard point to be a man of the match. It's very hard when you got your best player in a boozer going negative, 04 another Slayer going negative, and you've got everyone on Boston playing well. First map, red carpet, oh my god, Hicksy again, getting pissed on. Fucking Shitsy is no good. Called it since day one. Boston lost 5 rounds in a row to lose the search. Panic stations, they got smoked in the control, but then brought it back map 4 and finished off map 5. So we'll start with Jordie this one. What do you think? Any comments on this game?
Yeah, I think just two obvious players to bring up is Hicksy just being shit, absolutely terrible. And then yeah, Snoopy obviously for being MVP of this series, but I think he was just unreal this series. And I guess helping with the maps a little bit because you got Hardpoint and Rewind, you got Skyline, and you got your Control Vault's always a bit of a bang out, and yeah, then closing out with the S&D. But yeah, I think Soja looking pretty bad, which is a shame. Well, not really a shame because I guess we all sort of predicted it. Having Nixie and Nasty on the team just doesn't help. Boozer, apart from maybe this series, has looked really, really good. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for this one.
Case.
Bruce is playing alright, but not lighting the world on fire. Which sometimes is good, sometimes is not. If your team is sometimes struggling individually. But yeah, I think I hate watching Boston. I just fucking hate the team. Again, to win a 1-4-5 is not too bad, but good to see that they still love red card. I think the only person that predicted Boston was Jayden, so he can speak on a bit of that, why he did that. I'm not sure because, in my opinion, Surge is a lot better. But yeah, Surge not really impressing. Yeah, their respawns sometimes they just look lost. So they should be a lot better at search, especially with O4 on the side and Rambo's a coach. He's played plenty of search. He knows what's up. So the coach doesn't prevail here, and the Boston Challenger team gets up. So
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons, like obviously we've been talking a lot of smack on Boston, like myself included, but I think one thing I have liked from them so far is they look quite decent on search. Obviously they got smashed in the first search against Vancouver, but overall they looked pretty good with their search and destroys, and I feel like as a pro team, that's probably probably the hardest mode to play, especially with the strategies and routes and timings and all that sort of stuff. So if they're doing well on that, it's going to go a long way, especially when they got players like Snoopy who can do what he does on like respawns and stuff. But just quickly, Stearns, can you scroll down slightly and just show the overall damage stats for that series? Just want to point out, the overview of the whole series. It's on map one at the moment. So if you look at Big Joe again, so you got the MVP for the series before that, and then he's also dropped 11.6 over the maps on that one as well. So Big Joe's shooting at the moment, and when Joe shoots, he's hitting. This is again making it easier for the boys around him. So he's playing really well, and I feel like that's a big reason that they're getting some results at the moment too.
Case.
can we get like a CDL like national team game, like where they pick heaps of nations and they get them together? Because this Mexico team would be good with Shotzi, Snoopy, and the
Oh,
Skies as well.
mate.
Like the team would be good. I think it might rival the US team.
Yeah, it'd be definitely good.
I'm not sure the Australian team would be doing much, but
Stearns and Pred
Um,
would find it hard, I reckon.
Stearns and Pred, they reckon.
Yeah. And just quickly as well, obviously I've been quite a big doubter on Vancouver all year, but I honestly feel like they're a Hicksy roster change away from being a lot better team. I feel like if they change that, then they'll start getting more results.
Yeah, this is the sort of team that needs to pick up like Louiehh straight away before another team does, because someone like Louiehh could make a difference.
Well, we said this about Hook, that a lot of teams should have been jumping at the fact, and then Optic, obviously,
Yeah,
we know what happened with Pred. Like, it's literally perfect for them, and then every team's just pretty much lost out on that opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, it can happen so quickly. If you're a lower team and you got someone like Hook performing the way he was in challenges, you've just got to pull the trigger. Like, I know they don't really have subs anymore, but like, just put your nuts on the line and put him on there, get him on there just in case. Like, especially with some of the results so far, I know some of those teams could definitely have massive improvements with Hook on their team.
It's almost like as if Nasty has gone on this team and gone, oh, we need one more. I'm gonna pick up my mate just
Yeah.
because. Honestly, what it feels like.
Mhm.
Because I don't know how he's made his way onto this roster with.
Yeah.
Like, he was good in challenges, but he was playing with Bance and Dave and that, and they're still good too. Vortex, like they're
Bance
good
Castle.
players. So
Mm.
Bancy Castle, tune into his EU challenger stuff, and he's pretty funny and he's good quality. So he had MZ
Maybe-
Zombie Slayer on the stream in between one of his matches, and we've got him just down there. So
Maybe we should have Hicksy and Kenya Booty link up and make a challenges team. Yeah, that
Am
guy.
I going to be
That'd
the
be pretty
flex?
good.
Because that team sucks.
You'll maybe on the end of it, I reckon,
Yeah.
Sterner.
So we go to the first game of the next day. We got Toronto versus Miami. Toronto win the first and then win both searches 6-1. Yet again, Miami get fucking destroyed. Bring out the meme of the white girl on the couch, because that's what it feels like when they play search. All of Ultra played well, and just, I don't know, just feels like there's something missing from this Miami team. And Lucky's playing for his spot. He's just kill whoring, trying to keep himself looked in when fucking Super's visa's going through. But damn, I don't know. It's just hard to look at. They win what 6 rounds of search in 4 S&Ds. Just not good enough. Map 1 Kleenex and Map 2 Kleenex with Joey D as well. Joey D 10 and 2. We got to talk about Joey D. Joey D has fit in seamlessly up there. You thought it's going to be hard for them to replace Scrap and Envoy, but Joey D's shooting and Beans is you know what you're going to get from Beans. I like the way they're going about it. They're 4-0, and Miami are in real trouble if they don't fix this up. Case, what do you think?
Yeah, just back on Jordie, I think he's been really good. We never questioned his ability or his ceiling as part of this team or his previous teams. It was really if he could get the right mesh of players to play with him and teach him kind of how to play, not correctly, but how to play for the win, that he'd been steered into a really good direction. I think his previous coach is JCap, and now who's their ultra coach? I'm blanking.
Who is it?
Oh, is it? No, it's not.
It's
Anyway, they've been really good at.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, they've been really good at helping him since he come up from Vanguard. Really, just kill Horan in ranked when he was 17. So I really like him as well. Kleenex as well. We spoke about it earlier. He's been really good in MVP caliber. One of the top SMGs in the league for sure at the moment. He's really hard to kill. And alongside his duo Insight, who really they play so well together. They're probably the 2 players that play just unbelievable together. They've always played their COD since they were 18 together. So it's good to see them come up in the league and really dominate and really build some good teams just by themselves. Take the league by storm and really quickly get some wins. And I really hope they win this major or even minor. Just so Joey D can finally get a chip. I know Insight when he came in on Cold War won pretty quickly, so hopefully that can be the same case with Joey D on this good side where it's probably his first real chance to win a chip with this team. The other teams are really probably not up to the standard to win a tourney. So yeah, everyone picked Rocker. No surprise there, but I'm really surprised at Miami's search. Like they need to get something done. Hurry up and get Lucky over, because, yeah, I mean, not Lucky, get Super over here, get rid of Lucky. He can go play with Eric Boom in challenges, and hopefully get some kills and see how he does.
Yeah, I agree 100% there.
I just had a couple of notes that I written down while I was watching the game, but yeah, Metals and Lucky went absolutely stupid map 4 to clutch it up and get the boys to the S&D, but yeah, obviously getting absolutely slammed in the S&D, so it just doesn't matter. But yeah, I think Rancor overall had a decent series. I think it was the map was the two maps that they won. Rancor was playing pretty well.
Yeah.
It looks like the maps he didn't play well, they lost, so good in that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a big thing. And like just sort of looking over that series as well, I think on Respawns, Miami are matching, they matched Ultra pretty well kill-wise across the Respawns, obviously with a few subpar performance from a couple of players, but on the searches, they just look absolutely lost. And what sort of, I think getting Lucky out sooner rather than later when that visa gets fixed, which will surely be soon now, it can't be too far away. Just making that change and just trying to gel those 4 for the rest of the year would be a good move. But again, Ultra were just class in the end. As Case was just talking about, we were all pretty high on Joey D to start the year, and we all knew he could play, this well, and it's proven to be, a very impactful player for that team. And again, mate, Kleenex is just absolutely shooting at the current time. So if he keeps doing that, it's going to go a long way to them getting more and more wins. And just quickly as well, that Augur is run like extremely well. Like they have been for quite a while now, and especially losing like Scrap and Envoy and the players they've gone out and actively picked up from that, I think, a very good move by them acting on that quickly and getting them straight into the team.
Yep. We'll move on then from that. We got FaZe versus Vegas. Pretty interesting. FaZe won the map 1 pretty easy. Map 2 pretty comfortably. Then they actually lost the control, which was very surprising. Come back and smoked them in the next hard point. But Abeezy back to a little bit of form. Sim back to a bit of form. But they're only shooting pretty much statues. Yet again, you look at Khalid. Oh my god, can someone fucking help this guy? This guy is doing it all. Legitimately, most damage in the lobby. Fucking plus 16 against FaZe. Genuinely shooting. And then you got King of Body down below him with a .6 and minus 38. Bruh. If I was Khalid right now,
terrible.
I'd be fucking... I can't say it on stream because I'll get flagged. It's something to do with having 7 wives and, beating them up. But this guy... yeah, this... Whoa. Wow. Anyway, yeah, Beezy looked good map 1. Sim looked good map 1. Map 2 was Draza, 1-7 in a search, and they won 6-3.
Spawn in.
Damn, son, he had 414 damage. King of Body had more damage than him. Like, Jesus. Yeah, they did that. And then in this control, mate, holy. Abeezy forgot to shoot. This is just disgusting. Exton kicks doing their thing. Rocks is helping as well. But then map 4 was, someone help Khalid again. Anyone thoughts on the series? We'll start with Jordie.
I just had a couple of notes, which we've already sort of mentioned. But yeah, Kicks dropping 29 and King of Body going double neg on the map 1. Terrible. What else did I have? Map 2, yeah. Kicks going 9-5, King of Body 2-9. Rather 1-7. Yeah, not much really to say. Sort of what we expected, but not what we expected in the control. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I hope they do sort of with FaZe, if they do release some kind of video where you can just listen to the comms, because I'd love to just know how. Like, I'd probably say it's probably messy and pretty scrappy. So I'd really enjoy listening to that.
Messy.
Jayden.
Yeah, I mean, it's all been pretty much said. If we spoke about, a year or two ago about FaZe dropping a map to a new team that's coming to the league, especially from another country, would be genuinely shocked looking at that, I reckon. And just quickly, on that map that the Falcons won in the control, just looking through the KDs on that Falcons team, we had Xnib with a 1.6, Khalid with a 1.5, Rox with a 1.3, and the GOAT, King of Odi, dropped a 0.7. When everyone else in the team was apparently frying, he still wasn't, so I think it's a pretty clear indication that they need to make a move there. And from what I've been sort of witnessing as well, their Challengers team hasn't been doing too bad either. So there must be someone on there that can shoot.
He's funding the team, I'm telling you. Like
he has to be. But again, I mean, phase 1, most maps pretty convincingly, but they still weren't convincing, if you get what I mean. Like, they still look lost, but I feel like it'll be a little bit of a confidence boost for them. Probably a hit to their confidence actually dropping a map, but yeah, I think someone stated it before. It's good they got a month off now, because I feel like they will work their absolute asses off to get to where they need to be by the time they come back.
Case.
The biggest takeaway from here is FaZe are on the board. They've got one. That's really what they needed. They need a kickstart. Even though it is Falcons, I think you take what you get, what's in front of you. You beat them and you move on. So yeah, hoping that in the next month they start showing what they can be and phase up and hopefully go well on this minor and the major.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is Clayston needs to stop this Make-A-Wish kid fucking getting his rewards and find someone else, because these guys could genuinely be contending if they didn't have a walking .3 on their team.
Yeah, as Jayden said, I've heard from a few people now that their Challenger team are pretty good, so it'd be interesting to see what they do.
Next we have Cloud9 and Royal Ravens. I'll start us off. Cloud9 looked good early. They won the hard point. Mac again frying. The search, they just looked too good. And then all of a sudden, the whole switch just flipped. And Carolina looked like they picked up their controls and started playing. They turned it around, got the first reverse sweep of the year. And Gwyn plus 25 for the series, Slasher plus 22, both frying. And yet again, if you look down, it's the same old Cloud9 story. It's Attach and Sib getting absolutely fucking world starred. It's literally like I picked up Sib's controller and tried to fucking shoot with the boys, because that guy is literally out of his depth right now compared to what he was last year. But yeah, Carolina yet again showed back to the wall. They showed a bit of heart and fought their way through it, won the vault, and ran away with the series after that. Case, do you want to take us away from this one?
Yeah, this one reeked of a reverse sweep before it happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like after the vault control, like this could be on. So, not saying that I really watched this map too closely. I am rooting for C9 because I do like their team, and I think that they're playing probably not to what they should be playing at. But I think Ravens just showing that they've been really good in the first opening 2 weeks. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much takeaway from me. I like Vivid on the AR still. I've said it every time they've played. And Gwyn's looking really good too. He's really taken a step up from last year where he probably should have been Rookie of the Year.
He was.
He was Rookie of the Year. It was meant to be him or a Bruiser, wasn't it?
Yeah, he won over a
yeah.
bruiser.
Yeah, and everyone was chatting shit. I think he got a 99 lineman card too for the first 2 weeks, and
Probably
saw
deserves
Mama-
it too.
yeah, I saw Mama Gwyn retweet it and said, "Yeah, this is my boy," and just really going at a Bruiser saying, "Yeah, this is why he's Rookie of the Year." Da da da. So I thought that was pretty funny, and yeah, I think he's really living up to this team, and Slash has given him the green light, and he's ready to go.
Jayden?
Yeah, my takes from the series is Civ sucks. Max shoulders hurt. Carolina again just proving me wrong. And I think the best thing about that series was how fucking good was TJ on that map 5 search.
TJ was huge.
Yeah, very.
Like he went 12-3 and didn't look like he could be killed for the majority of that map. But again, I'm in the same boat as Case. I do like their roster, and I feel like it's going to come good at some point. But yeah, at the moment, Sib's just dead weight. Attach isn't playing well either. I think it's pretty much just Mac and Cramp going big to win the maps. But other than that, yeah, Carolina looking good.
Yeah, I'm just going to butt in before Jordie. I just found it funny at the start of the year. Everyone was saying their sub duo just isn't good enough for this team to compete, and so far Mac and Cramp have done their thing, and you can't really be angry at them because they've played pretty well. It really needs. There's got to be a big onus on Attach. He's the leader of this team. He's the veteran. He's been there and done it, and he just isn't performing right now. And I don't know what's going on with Sib, because this ain't the same Sib we've seen last year. He can't even win gunfights right now. He's just throwing his life away, ego chowing the fuck out of everything, and just getting piss slammed. And he really needs to take a step back and rethink how he's playing at the moment, because he's literally a detriment to his team right now.
Just quickly as well, Sterner, I have a faint memory, like someone be happy to research this and see if it's true or not, but I swear Sib started like shit last year too.
Oh, they won.
I swear he had
won Major 1, didn't they?
But through the qualies,
Sorry,
through qualies and stuff, I think he
I
actually
think
was really shit to start the year. So I don't know what his pre-season prep is, but it's obviously not working.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably.
Jordie, got anything for this?
Yeah, as Kay said, this series just reeked of a reverse sweep. I'm just looking at stats now. I've put it up here. Here we go. So Ravens are 3-1 in the vault control. And they've obviously won that. And then obviously they're just unreal. For some reason, people are playing them on protocol. Like they've done it to phase, now they've done it to C9.
What is their
Yeah.
stats on protocol? Actually, if you don't mind me asking, Jordie.
Protocol hardpoint wins 3-0.
Yeah. And they haven't been close,
Three.
I don't think either.
No, so yeah, that what is it? 250 to 105 on this, and then what do they destroyed phase.
Yeah.
Um,
It was like
I don't know
88 or
who.
some shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the other series was, but
They're not
I
on
don't
bad
know.
at this protocol either. Like, they beat another team earlier, Rocker, I think, who are a pretty good protocol team too.
Mm.
So
That's like
definitely no free win.
that's like phase. Like when they versed Ultra, they beat them 250 to 141, and then Ravens go and do that to phase. It's just crazy.
I feel like Ravens' definitely favourite map is protocol
Um,
though, and I will think they did pick the protocol hardpoint as well, so that was their
yeah.
map pick.
Yeah,
Also,
no
they don't
surprise there.
No.
no rewinds. Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, yet again, I think Carolina showed a lot. They did what they had to do. They come back from a deficit and got the reverse sweep and showed that they're, still in front of the pack at the moment. So that's it for that. And then we have one more game, and it is the Rocker versus LA Thieves. Interesting one. The Thieves go 4-0 for the split, but this wasn't easy. They had to fight for this one again. They got themselves out of trouble. They looked pretty bad at search and just happened to win the 3 respawns, but they got out of jail in the control and the first hard point. They're not doing it easy, but they're doing it. They're just winning these games. So all you have to do really early is just win them. It doesn't matter how you win them, how pretty they are. They'll be better for the runs. Scrap had probably his best series for the year. He was a lot better in this one. And same as Geo. Geo had a good series for Rocker. Jayden, we'll start with you. What do you think of the series, and where do you think these two teams are heading into the minor?
Well, just quickly, that was by far LA's worst performance of the year. I think every map they won, Rocker choked. So, that sort of sums it up. Like, they were lucky to get away with the W, but that's what good teams do. Obviously, when they're up against it, they still find a way to win, which I think is very good for them early on, and obviously their team's phase so far. And even Scrap just come out and said, they didn't have a good week leading up to it as well, like with their scrims and their team practices and stuff like that. So I think they sort of knew that they got a few things to work on. But what I was sort of saying before, I think they're really going to step up against bigger teams, and then against some of the lower teams, they're just not going to be probably as motivated to really do what they need to do. But yeah, same old sort of stuff. I know we talked about that drill before being a bit better in the first game they played that week. But it was back to his similar sort of ways, minus the search and destroy, with just being a walking grey screen. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, go Thieves.
Jordie?
Yeah, big choke from Rocker. Like if you go to map 1 and scroll down to the breakdown of the hills, you can just see like how close it is. Like 160, like they're up at 167 to 164. They bring it back to what is it, 235, to 248, and it's just so close. And you got players like Nero dropping 42. Big engagements, 42 and 38. It's just unreal. But yeah. And then if you look at, I think it's the same in map 3. They're up by a lot. Sorry, map 4. Sorry, map 4. 129 to 44 at one point, and these bring it back and just
Yeah,
flip a switch.
that's crazy.
And just bring on what you were talking about with like pre-weekend stuff, Jayden. I think a couple of them were sick.
Mm.
It's probably not much of an excuse as to why this has happened, but yeah, I know that Scrapper and Ghosty was sick. Yeah.
COVID seems to be going around quite a lot in the CDL at the moment. I know, was it last week or the week before? I know Shotzi was very, very sick
It was before
through
week
their
one.
games as well. For week 1, yeah, I know he was very crook, and I swear someone else from Optic ended up being sick as well. But yeah, seems to be a lot of that going around again.
Well, the Thieves
So-
would be fine if they weren't sharing pens.
Also, can we just bring up map 2 and the KDs on that one, please?
Yeah, Ezreal and Geo went ham.
Just look up a little bit and just explain what happened.
They just got smoked. Wasn't much to it. Geo and Ezreal just ran their shit. It was clinical, really. Scrap kept going his normal B route and getting picked, and Hydra got picked a few times, and by then it's just all over. It's very hard to get retakes or down on man advantage if you keep giving up first blood. I think there was a silly stat. So most teams that are good at search have about a 55 to 60% first blood win rate, or first blood percentage for their games. I think Thieves have, I've heard it was something stupid. It's like 18 or 20 or something out of 65 rounds or something like. It's not much. Like they've got a really low percentage of actual first blood kills, and so they're fighting pretty much every round 3v4. Obviously they're a good team, but you can't do that no matter how good you are, or you're never going to win search games. And when it comes down to it, if they get in close matches, they want to win searches. They were lucky to get 2 against FaZe, but they need to get better at that game mode because Hydra looks godlike in this game, but as soon as it comes to search, he forgets how to use his controller. And they need someone like him to be running around making it easy for him. Anything
Yeah,
else?
I think Hydra's struggling big time in search. It's probably why that opening duel percentage win rate is pretty low, just because he's trying to hit timings where it's probably not there, or he can do it in scrims and they're kind of countering it. I think Scrap come on the record and said that this is probably his worst week in COD for a long time, and I'd probably agree with him just in the fact that they should really be stomping some of these teams in the respawns, and they're keeping it close with a few checky plays and holding a few angles where they're probably not the right thing to do. I think this is the best hardpoint team in the league at the moment. Thieves, I think they're really good, even if they are winning ugly. As Stern said, you still got to win. At the end of the day, it ends at 250. Doesn't matter what the other team gets, you still got to get 250. I'm not sure about criticising other teams for winning ugly Sterns and then Thieves win ugly and it's all good, but
I
we can talk.
I don't know what other team I've criticised for winning ugly.
Nah, it's all good. I'm trolling. But yeah, their search is a big issue, and it probably comes down to that opening duel. If they get that up a bit, starting a lot of rounds 4v3, especially on offense, you can plant the bomb, and really work from there. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Yeah. If you're back against the wall down 3v4 most searches, you can't really back up and play some freebie. So you got to really just go aggressive and try cut the other team off and make a play. So that's probably where LA Thieves are really good at doing. They're really good at making plays in search, but they want to be more in the advantageous spot than disadvantage, obviously, so that they don't have to make these godlike plays to win a single round.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on to the tier list. Get this done while we're talking about what's happened recently. Obviously, Vegas staying in Vegas.
100%.
We will go to. Let's go to the top. I think it's time for FaZe to move down the list one. Is anyone opposed?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, if you're on current
Based on
form,
2 weeks of fucking online COD, mate. Like,
Yeah,
how
but
about we settle?
Fucking 80% of the league's online COD, mate. You've got to.
Nah. No one
yeah.
cares if you win. No one cares if you win 7 qualifiers. FaZe have done it the last 5 years. They always come
And they're
first on the
always on
ladder.
top.
No one gives a shit, do they? Like that's just how it is.
It just sort of depends on how we want to look at it. Like obviously it says we'll win an event, so we have to sort of think about it from a long season standing point, and FaZe will definitely be probably where they are right now. So, yeah, the top three still the same, 100%. That order as well, I think.
What do you reckon, Ernie? Why would
My
you
show,
reckon?
unlucky.
Why do you think it's on top? Why do you reckon?
What I reckon? First of all, I just feel like at the moment they have more cohesion than FaZe. I've got more faith in these guys winning a championship than FaZe at the moment, just for the simple fact that FaZe are finding ways to lose games. Mate, look what just happened with them in Carolina. I was online, but they got piss stomped. They didn't even show any fight. At least LA's winning bad games. Like they should. Like they're winning when they're playing bad.
I
FaZe
wouldn't say they're
just,
playing bad. I think they're just
No,
letting
no.
other teams in when they
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
shouldn't be.
but they're still winning them games. Where FaZe can't win them games at the moment. They're struggling. They're 1-3 and they've only beaten Vegas and they've lost to LA Thieves, Carolina, and Ultra. 3 tough teams, yes, but you still got to play who's in front of you. I feel like Draz is struggling at the moment, like super bad. Not his fault as such, but I just feel like
Shout out
they're
McLovin.
what?
Shout out McLovin.
I just feel like they're struggling as a team cohesion wise, and it's just not watching them play. Just doesn't seem like the actual FaZe we know from the last 5 years.
Say quickly as well, though, it's a big difference between like a power ranking and like what we're looking at here. Like this is a season long tier list.
Yeah, but it changes every week, so that's why like we're doing it as we go through the year. And at this point in time, I have more faith in LA winning the final than I do FaZe.
But if we're going week by week, we may as well put Ravens first.
No.
I like the explanation from Stearns. Like I think LA have been a really good team this year, and they are the best respawn team in the league. I just think FaZe will turn it around on land. We know how good they are.
Absolutely,
and,
mate. If they win,
for sure
if they win, fucking Major 1, happy to put them first again. Like
egg,
mate, I'll take the egg if they win Major 1.
They will win Major 1.
But if these win Major 1,
I'm telling you,
mate,
they'll win it. They'll
I'm
win.
happy. Anyway,
Clip it right now.
feel
They're
like,
winning.
I still feel like Optic are in the spot to win the event this year. They have a fair chance. They've got the favourable side of the bracket. I guess this qualifier tourney with FaZe, LA Thieves, and Toronto all on the other side of the bracket. Realistically, if Optic are what they think they are, or coming from what they are last year, they should make it to the final. I still feel like they've got to get past Boston and Carolina to get there. Boston obviously have already beaten them, and Carolina's pretty hot. So I'm going to keep them there for now, in my opinion. But if they flunk this minor and don't go well Major 1, you could see Pred back very quickly.
I think that's the perfect spot for Optic. I mean, we all know if all 4 of their team members are shooting on the day, they're probably going to beat anybody that's in front of them. But as we know from a lot of previous years now, there's just seems to be a massive inconsistency with their performances, and they're literally hot or not. There's no in the middle. They don't go all right. They're either really, really, really good or they're really, really shit. So I think that's why they're at the later end of that bracket there, which is fair.
I think we knew Hook would be good, but we obviously knew that Pred is a better player than Hook. Like there's no question about that. It's good to see Pred speak out about his issue, personal issue even, and really gain some help, because I know people in the same situation really struggle to reach out and just kind of let it build up, and then COD your escape, but after that, you can just really randomly get thoughts into your head about what you did the previous day or what you spent X amount of money on.
We're definitely going to talk about that
currently.
soon, anyway.
So it's definitely in his mind, and it would have been eating him away, just not speaking about it. And he's probably embarrassed, but it's really good to see that he's got some help and everyone's supporting him, whether that's privately or publicly. It's probably not really a matter for him, but it's really good to see that. And I hope he's back on this team really quickly because I think this team can go back to back, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll speak a bit more on that later when we have a talk about that. Next one is Ultra. I think they stay there. They haven't done anything wrong. They won all 4 games. They beat who's in front of them. They've had a few game fives, but in the end, they still haven't lost and they're playing pretty well.
They could almost go up for me. I think with these minors as well as the majors, I think they're a good sneaky chance to steal, like not even steal, but like play really well and just beat one of these teams, like skip the other 2. Maybe the top 3 play each other once and they all get knocked out and they only have to play, say, phase for the win. I reckon they're a really good chance at doing it. Probably not moving up the tier list, but yeah, I really like them.
I feel like that's a good spot for them now. I feel like they've definitely got a chance to win the event, but they're still got a little bit like to go, I think, to be, a top 3 team, but they're definitely good. I feel like the next team should be Carolina just on how they've been playing. They've got the win over FaZe. They reversed swept Cloud9. They had 2 tough games this week and they won them both. So I feel like they're probably the fifth best team right now.
I'm happy for them to go behind C9 at the moment. I still think long-term C9 will probably be better, but I am happy for them to move up a tier just after C9.
Yeah, I feel like being 1 and 3, I can't put them above Carolina right now, C9. Until them ARs start showing something, I feel like they are there, if not top of my make Sunday. I think
Honestly, I think they're better. Like, we can write off the first 2 weeks, the first week, I think, especially with the Denver server issue, but they see that they can still play well even when the server is kind of chalk. So I think C9 are a better team, but I'm happy for them to stay wherever. It's not a big deal, but I think C9.
Or just like a coin flip between those 3 anyway, honestly.
Yeah, like I'm happy with this top 6. I feel like that's the top 6 right now. And I feel like 7th at the moment would have to be Boston. They're the next best team at the moment. They've won 3 games. They're winning searches. Miami aren't winning searches. Vancouver's struggling. Rockers struggling. And Mates, they're on 4. Even though
Vancouver's struggling, but they went to Map 5 with Boston. I feel like that's on land. They just stomped them. Like, I feel like that's just an online cheese again. So I can't see Boston sitting 7th, but if everyone else is happy with that, then I guess that's how it goes. But I'd much rather
I
have
could
Vancouver
happily
above them.
swap either of these 2. Like, I don't really mind either way, but I feel like Boston deserves to be in the same thing as Vancouver in general.
Yeah, I think at the moment, Boston deserve to. I don't know about deserve, but I think just the way they're playing at the moment, they probably could be in there.
I also think Case raised a very good point to me throughout the week. Vancouver have lost games to Optic and Ultra, and they've also been in 3 game 5s. So, like, they're not far away from getting those wins, and as I sort of said before, I think a Hixie roster change will, make those 3-2 losses into 3-2 wins in a lot of spots as well. So
yeah, I'm happy to have Vancouver there. I'm still iffy. I still don't rate Hixie, and I think while they've still got him, they're shit. So that's, and with the Boozer complaining about playing from where he's playing, when your star players obviously pissed because he isn't getting the kind of gunfights he reckons he should be winning because of where he's based. It's not all sunshine and rainbows there, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens there. These 3, I don't know, you could fucking put them nearly in any order. They're all kind of around the same boat right now. Rockers won 2 games. Like, they're probably the best one out of the 3 of them. Mates on 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 2. But I don't know. What are your thoughts, boys?
I'll go first. I reckon like how it's sitting at the moment is good. I think the only issue here is like Heretics, like for them to win a series, they need to win all 3 respawns, and like to me that just seems impossible. Like, and that's a real issue for them. So personally, I think they've been fucking terrible. Like if they, I think someone put in the chat the other day that they won 4 rounds of search in
6
a
rounds.
week.
They won
6 rounds of
6-2,
search.
6-2, 6-1, 6-1.
So they 2 game 5s and they had 4 S&D maps and they won 6 rounds. Like
And
that's
that
enough
was
to win
lost.
1 match. So that's pretty, like that's not good at all. That's really bad.
We have a special guest. You're gonna have to give me a second because I'm gonna have to fix some cams when I drag him in. But we got our friend Louis here, and I'm sure he would like to say something on the tier list. So I'll bring in Lewis.
Hey, buddy.
Christmas.
Hey Louis, what's up?
Yo.
Good evening, all.
Hydra's #1 fan in the chat.
Yeah, it's very true.
Could tell you a story about the DMs while Stearns is fixing the cams.
Yeah, we can do that. So, had a little birthday present owed to me by the mother. I thought I'd get some 100T gear. Fired off a DM to the one and only Hydra. Wasn't expecting much. Put the order in for the gear. It arrived. Hadn't heard back from Hydra. Forgot all about it, to tell you the truth. Opened up my phone to a DM from Hydra saying, the next lot of gear you get, send it to me first, and I'll sign it and send it back to you. So yeah, pretty happy with that one.
Lucky
Damn.
boy.
My God.
Stearns is rolling in his
Louis.
chair right now, mate.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
We get his assistant to do that and it'll be a fucking printout one. Sticky taped onto a little fucking 100T flame hoodie.
See, Sterner, that could have been you if you weren't such a hater before he moved to 100T.
Yeah, I was though.
You put that on yourself, mate. Look what you've done.
But yeah, Luke, I'd
Um,
like to get your thoughts on the tier list. What do
Yeah.
you reckon so far?
Let me just bring it up.
I think
I
you
did,
like
yeah.
the first few.
I did agree with a lot of it. Yeah, look, it's hard with our gentlemates in 11th. Like, I don't know. I don't know whether they're going to make a roster change. I personally think they're probably better than Heretics because, as you said, like Heretics have to win all 3 respawns to win a series, and it's borderline impossible. Like, I think from memory, Gentlemates are actually playing okay-ish control. Their hardpoint sucks, but I think their Surge is probably better than Heretics. But again, they are 0-4, and with their schedule going forward, it doesn't get much easier. So, the top 3, I mean, as you guys know, I've been pretty big on the Thieves being at 1. FaZe and Optic, I mean, Optic could have some growing pains with Kyler, but they looked pretty good on the weekend. And then FaZe, I don't know. Like, it probably isn't FaZe to make a roster change mid-season, but they've been pretty tough to watch at times.
I'm pretty sure they're the only team in the CDL that have not made a change during the season, ever.
Doesn't surprise me the way that orgs run. Like,
Yeah.
it's...
I haven't
Count
needed to.
substitutes playing, Stern?
Pardon?
Does that count substitutes spawning in? Fine, or?
That does not count substitutes for anymore if someone's sick. No.
Who was that? Refresh my
Nicky
memory.
D?
Classic played a game.
For who?
Simp was moving house or something, wasn't he? Something.
Yeah, someone was sick or
I do
something.
remember
So they
that.
just...
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I wanted Sib to spawn in on the old Atlanta FaZe 2019 days, but
I'm still waiting for him to
I-
spawn after last time.
I think just waiting for him to spawn in for his fantasy side. I don't know.
He thinks he's still on the bench.
We'll get there.
Like,
don't worry.
it's the COD started, Sid, mate. It's time to play.
I was watching him before and he was frying. He was gassing himself. Oh, I'm that good, like. And I'm like, well, this isn't translating. So
He's live at the moment.
I do love his stream, Sib DMDL.
Hope he's in the firing range.
I think he's streaming at the moment.
He's playing with Jord's mate Chris Duarte.
Oh,
Is he?
that's my mate. Banned.
But yeah, sort of the tier list. I feel like, yeah, pretty few changes from last week, which is interesting. Yeah, I think it's pretty where it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think C9 being back to that second tier. I mean, once that server issues were sorted out, it was always going to be that, they'd be back where they belong. So
100%. But I feel like obviously if he starts shooting, that team's just going to be instantly good, like instantly like good. Mac and Cramp have been doing business. In all honesty, I don't even think it really matters too much what the Tatch does. If those three are all playing well, I think they're just gonna do what they need to do. Obviously, helps if he's shooting back somewhat, but if those three are firing, going to be pretty good.
I mean,
Be
that's
worried
probably,
if
you go.
I'd be worried if I'm cramped too, especially with Pred sitting there on the bench.
100%.
He'd be thinking, ah, shit.
Yeah.
Boys,
like-
is my job still safe?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's thinking. Like, oh,
Mm.
boys, we loading up the scrim. Oh shit, we already done them. Fuck.
Yeah.
Could be the same
Yeah.
for Escher, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Should be the
I
same
mean,
for
100%.
Astral.
Yeah.
Mm. 100%. And like, obviously we'll start talking about that in a minute, but yeah, it's just hard as well because Cramp's actually been playing really well, like majority of the time. So it'd be a very harsh move, and I don't. Oh man, it's so hard. I mean, Pred's Pred. If the option's there, you've got to make the move. I think, but it'd be hard to break up a duo that's doing well, and obviously you've done a lot of reps together to get to where they have.
The issue is I can't really see him returning and joining a bottom 4 to bottom 6 team.
No.
Like it's either return to Optic. I mean, you're probably not going to get a spot on phase, but who knows with the way they've been playing and who they could potentially get rid of. I mean, you're not going to Thieves, obviously. I mean, C9 could be your next best option. But I mean, you couldn't see him on like a Boston I mean, he's obviously not joining Falcons.
Unless they built like a super team. Just
Yeah,
spend
I mean,
heaps of money and just super team.
yeah, he couldn't see it as a mid-season thing, but who knows with the free agents available going into next year what they're going to do. I mean, money's obviously not an issue for them.
I think he's most likely to go back on this Optic team and who go out is
Oh,
would be my
100%.
preference. So
That's my thoughts. I feel like unless Hook's, top 5 players in the league when Pred's ready to come back, then the roster change probably won't happen. But anything other than that, I think they're just going to get Pred straight back in there, which obviously sucks for Hook. But I feel like it's also a good thing that he gets a chance to prove himself in the league, ready for if that happens. And I also feel like behind the scenes, Optics probably had a chat to him as he was signed and sort of said the same sort of things.
you see how that worked out when they gave a lifeline to Dan Ghosty, and he's been exceptional this year and really
My man.
100%.
from the first half of last year. Like he was probably one of the best ARs going into EWC.
Mm.
Probably didn't have the EWC showing that he probably wanted to, and he's probably a bit disappointed. But he was definitely shooting at champs, and the start of this year has been really good. So
Yeah. And I feel like he has a lot of respect for Optic as well. Like every time, like I've sort of heard him speak about it, it's they gave him his sort of opportunity and showed what he can do in the league, and now look where he's at now. He's in a team that's probably at this point in time favourites to win some tournaments and stuff. So it's definitely come a long way and took the most of that opportunity.
that whole old Thieves roster is really good. Like Joey D's taking his opportunity now. Cramp's on a good side.
100%. Yeah.
Nasty, not so much. I'm not a fan of Nasty, but
Yeah, neither am I.
that's probably because he's a ginger fuckwit. I was going to say another
Shut
word,
up,
but you
Biggers.
can't really say that.
Yeah.
Shout out, Jordie.
Alright, boys, we're going to move on now to the challenges. So there was Cup 3 over the weekend as well. Obviously, Latin America was won by Vade, Trax, Key on DJ again. I think that's 2 in a row. Them guys are smoking it down there. They're actually pretty good, apparently. Apparently, that Evade
Apparently,
is really, really good. Asia Pacific, the lads represent 3 out of
that was
3.
a good watch too. That was a good watch.
They're
That final was a good watch.
they're very good. Crims is just the final boss when it comes to these finals. Turns it up.
Yeah.
He loves a surge clutch moment, doesn't he?
Cram's backpack was so large on the weekend. Holy moly.
What about Setsi on the proto control?
Oh, when he was
Mate,
like
he was He was like
50 and
30 and
1.
yeah, he was like 30 and 8 or something.
And the
like-
thing
like-
was, earlier on, like in the winners' final, that Shock single-handedly just carried him through winners' finals. He was fucking frying. He was frying all day Sunday. I don't know how he went in the final. I didn't actually watch much of it, but the earlier games, Shocks was genuinely hard carrying.
I think from memory, the final was a lot of the Setsi and Crimja show. Fighter had a bit of an off series from the maps I caught. But yeah, that team is just model of consistency in the APAC region.
While we're on APAC as well, like it was Team Void in the final again, wasn't it? But they've obviously had their name changed. I think this might be like a sponsor thing where their name's obviously changed from the
Maybe.
previous
Not
cup,
sure.
but they'd be feeling hard done by because they've played like very good COD through the last two cups, and they just can't get over that massive mountain, which is Mind Freak. And
Not
I
many
think we said
games.
last week, those boys have been at the top of the APAC scene for a long time now, and yeah, whoever beats them have done a very bloody good job.
I think Europe, Afro, Eric, Boom, F. Dot, and Rafi, they've won 2 in a row, I'm pretty sure as well.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, doing the thing. And North America was Spart, Arcides, Pro, Alert, and Capsidal. The boys doing their thing as well. Alec coming over. When Hook left, Capsule went down to a sub. That's a very, very good team. They've won 2 out of the first 3, I think. Alex won 2 as well. All these boys won 2. They're probably unlucky not to be in the league, some of these guys. Yeah, there's a bit going on in challenges. I'm pretty sure there was some movement. If I have a look. Yeah, that's right. So Brack has now joined Illy, Standy, and Johnny instead of Fire. That's going to be an interesting team.
There's well Sterner.
I've just got
Billy's
no
team.
I've just got no respect for that RC's team for the team name change.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
But yeah.
Shout out Brack. We got him here on the podcast again. So.
But
gotta stick
but
to
yeah,
that.
just
No Coco change this week, but
He's got it. Look,
he's got it. I couldn't see it.
yeah, Sterner, just quickly while you're talking about that team, so Illy's team got forfeited at the start of Challengers Cup 3. Their face at chat wasn't working when they were trying to obviously get the game started, and then they're getting time out and an automatic loss, and then tried getting in touch with the face at support to, get the issue fixed. And from what I saw, I don't think it got resolved, and I don't know if they played any more games after that. They certainly didn't get, I didn't see them on a wins bracket or a losers bracket, so I just think they didn't play at all that weekend, which is a bit stiff.
I'm pretty sure they got ghosted by
Yeah.
the website.
Yeah.
I think Ely was saying that he tried to get in contact, but yeah, didn't hear anything, so they just forfeited or just didn't play or whatever.
Yeah.
There's some other interesting teams. Major Maniac, Gunless, Asim, and Two Real. They've all been in the league. They've all had runs. It's going to be a pretty steady team. Gunless and Asim have played together a few times now.
And that worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's Cruz, Mumba, Wiz, and Dak. I feel like that's just bang average.
The team's good. Wiz, Dak, and Cruz have played together for a while.
Yeah, I know. Cruz.
They've won a cup together, them boys. So I think Dak's the best player on that team.
Yeah, Mumba's
What's wrong with Cruzy Cod?
No comment. Mumba's been playing pretty well early in the cups, and yeah, you still got some good teams there. Stallions played well in Scrimstar. I think they won the full set against the pro team that they played today. They weren't revealing who, but I'm pretty sure they won all 5 hard points. So yeah, that's some interesting goss for you.
I tell you, who didn't win all 5 hard points, and that was Team CTE.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Played Optic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think
I think there was one close map, and the rest were all 100-point clubs or something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Asim scrimmed them after and won 2 maps off them. So yeah, they were also scrimming Hacienda Control, but we'll get to that as well soon with the map.
Optic
changes.
also scrimmed Carolina, and the maps look pretty interesting. Some of the
Yeah,
players have been playing really well in matches, weren't really
I did see that too.
standing up, but yeah, Optic won it pretty comfortably. But
yeah, there was just back on the optic scrims, there was a Hacienda that went 250 to 178, and Dashi went 52 and 27.
That's EKA, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So also, okay. So we have the Pred stuff that happened during the week. So if anyone doesn't know, which you'd probably be living under a rock if you didn't know, Pred went live during the week. I think it was Tuesday night or Monday night our time, and pretty much gave his side of the story to what happened. Said there was no betting on his own games or match fixing. Said that everything is good between him and the Optic guys. He was unfollowed because he's no longer on the team. The issues are strictly personal and are obviously affecting the ones around him, his family and that. He seems like that kind of bloke that doesn't like to really talk about things and can't really put into words how he's feeling. Because if you watch the stream, like I think all of us did, he was a stuttering, bumbling idiot, really, when it tried to get to it. And then he asked, of all people, Scrap to come and explain some serious issues to the chat when he was high as fuck. So that's
Scrap carried that. Scrap carried that
Mate.
whole stream, by the way.
That was some of the funniest content you'll see on a stream this year. Honestly,
So he's still a free agent, can play for any team he wants, and is looking for a return at Major 1. On that, if you're going through personal stuff, your business, deal with it. I hope all the world and I hope all the best to him. Hope he gets through it and comes back better than ever. Depression's a serious thing, especially like when you're away from your family, you're mindlessly playing a game 24/7, you're halfway across the world. It would be pretty hard, especially when, you know, on screen he acts like the big cool guy, nothing affects him, he's got the ice, but you could tell deep down he was struggling the way he was talking. So on that, what do you think about the situation, boys? And what do you think about Pred's future? We'll start with Case.
See Pred going to any other team apart from Optic. I think Hex come out on their Optic podcast and said that they were waiting for him to make a public statement. It obviously took a few days. He returned home to Australia, and what's that flight? 20-something hours. It's a long time. He probably needed to debrief, like detox a little bit and just get his own thoughts, like kind of speak about or listen to some people around him and really come out publicly with a good statement. So I'm kind of happy that Optic kind of let it go, but again, like a week after all this happened is probably a long time to keep fans and the whole community in the dark. So I can see where they're kind of coming from as well with their perspective of they took too long to come out with something. So I just can't see him playing anywhere other than Optic. Like he won for him a few months ago. He's good mates with Scump, Dashi, and Shotzi, and Kenny as well. So and a lot of people behind the scenes with Hitch and that. He's always on their podcasts. And I think they just really like him and what he's about. Obviously, I spoke earlier about his personal issues, and he doesn't seem like someone who would speak out about his issues. Which a lot of us, like being males, probably agree with that as well. Like if you're struggling, like you kind of just keep it in and don't really speak out. So I'm really happy he's kind of come out on the record, not so much publicly, but they've made it known that he is struggling and he's getting help. So yeah, hopefully he's all good and hopefully he's back in the league soon for Ryan.
Thank you.
like as you said, like, and it sucks that, like, I understand it. Like, you're playing on probably the most critical, scrutinized, probably biggest fan base in the competition. They've been around for a long time. They're always going to be asking questions and wanting to know more and more, but he has every right to say things that, like, he doesn't have to share what's going on. He's sharing that with the people that are close around him, family, close friends, all that sort of stuff, which I think is definitely fair enough. And I think when Scrap come on, he sort of summed it up perfectly. Sometimes when you are going through mental issues and, mental blocks and stuff, the best thing you can do is get away from this, the same trap that you're stuck in throughout that period, and, go back and, especially for him, because I sort of get the gather that he doesn't really enjoy living or being in America too much. I know he absolutely loves Australia, and I think even as Hex talking about it, he asked Pred whether he would move full time to the States, and he just sort of said, "Look, no, I love Australia too much." So I think him coming back here would be the absolute best thing for him to, reset, recharge, get himself to where he needs to be, and then obviously come back better and stronger. And as Kay said at the start of he was saying, I can't see him coming back to any other team other than Optic. Once you've, been around that sort of situation, there's not a lot of people that, like going away from that, from history, unless they're, playing shit and they've been moved on, something like that. But Hex did come out pretty fired up when he was talking about the podcast as well, just squashing all the rumours and just said exactly what Kay said. It wouldn't be fair for them to come out and talk about it before he did, which is, 100% understandable.
Not like that guy to yap on a podcast, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bloody
crazy.
hell.
Well, you're
Yeah,
going,
some of the worst chat in the game on Hex, but as we're talking about throughout the week, he looks after everyone around him in the scene. He's been huge for the COD scene for a number of years now. So
Absolutely. Louis, what are your thoughts on
Everybody
this?
mentality.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have too many thoughts. I'm not the biggest Pred fan, but he's an Aussie, so I wish him the best. Those couple of days were pretty bad. Just with all the speculation and whatnot. Like, it must have been tough for him to sit there and, read these supposed screenshots about him spending 30k to Gucci store or dropping 100k on NFL games. Like, it can destroy your image. I know, like, a lot of us kind of had our minds made up as to what he'd done without any actual factual proof, which is kind of a detriment to, like, it shows where society's at these days. He probably thought the best thing he could do was stay silent and take a couple of days to regroup and gather himself and whatnot before he put out a statement. And in those 2 to 3 days, the internet was just filled with utter shit. That I think he's dispelled. I mean, he didn't really touch on the gambling thing on stream. That's one thing that I found a little bit strange. People were asking him, so was it gambling? And he wouldn't definitively say no. He would say, gambling is your choice and whatnot. But I mean, all signs paint to, what he said. It was, he's got some mental issues. He's got some blocks he needs to overcome. And I think the best thing for, Optic fans and fans of Call of Duty in general is to see him back in the league as soon as he sorts that sort of stuff out, because he's such a great talent. And, he's especially for Greenwall fans. I mean, he's fresh off winning a world championship, for God's sake. Like, the guy can play. So the best thing for all COD fans would be having him back in the league as soon as possible.
I think he did say like what was going on without actually saying it, is what I took from it. But if people think that was something else and it wasn't actually gambling, then yeah, I'm not sure that I think the leaks are pretty cemented evidence of what was going on, whether they are leaks and stuff. I think it's just probably not great that it's come out before he's had a chance to speak was probably the only issue. But like screenshots and that, I can't really speak on that. But
There was also a lot of stuff like speculating he was a dad, which he blew down pretty quick. Or
crazy.
there was something because he was streaming from Shotzi's house the night before it all happened. A lot of people thought there was something happened between them two there. There's been a lot of different speculation, but gambling seems the most probably reasonable. But also, like, listening to a few people talk, I don't know about the 100k on NFL games and stuff. That seems pretty out there.
100k on NFL games is wild. I don't get, like, obviously he's earning a pretty good wicket playing for Optic and he's got world championship funds and whatnot, but 100k on sports games is absolutely diabolical. Like, yeah.
I was listening
That's
to the
just me.
Stocksman talk about it, and he was saying that, like, no matter who you are, unless you're like Drake or someone, that kind of money is like not even feasible for him to be betting. Like,
I don't even think, like, with how much money he would be on at Optic, that, like, you could even ramp up to the stage where you are gambling 100 grand on games. Like, it would, like, he'd obviously have a net worth of 7 figures plus, but like 100k, that is, I find that a little bit hard
surprised,
to
I
believe.
reckon. Like the amount of expenses he'd have, like Optic would pay for nearly everything he's got. He wouldn't have to pay for an apartment. He wouldn't have to pay for food even. Like the amount of sponsorships and that they have coming out their ass. Like I can't see where there'd be many expenses and you just go, fuck, I've got all this disposable income. Like I can just spend it on willy-nilly. So and that's why he loves going overseas and spending all his cash because he's got all this extra.
Yeah, 100%.
Jordie, you got anything to say on the subject?
Not too much, just apart from maybe like more on like who you'd go to. I think it's obviously going to be Optic, but I feel like if Hook shows up, for Major One, hoping that maybe he does for Major One, which I'd probably say he would. If he shows up and like say he doesn't Pred can't go to Optic, I think the next best choice would probably be C9, which is the same if it does happen for probably Kremp.
I think the next best choice might be FaZe, but I just can't see them making a change personally. So
Won't be kicking anyone.
Unless he comes in for like Cell when they actually drop him, but you just literally if you drop either Cell or Beezy or someone, you're literally making someone else already better, and there's just no need to.
But again, like hypothetically, if FaZe were to drop someone, where would Cell go? Like
Yeah.
The Thieves aren't making a change. Optic, I don't. The only change Optic are making is Pred for Hook.
To be fair, he probably goes to like Ultra. Like, would you have Cellium or Insight? I'd take Cell. Like,
they're not going to pay Cell though.
Yeah,
they're not going to pay.
They're not gonna change that roster. Yeah. There's just no way they're changing Ultra's roster.
Yeah, there's not much for them to go. But what are you going to do? Keep Cell on the bench or
against? I think maybe even C9, mate. They have two ARs that are underperforming at the moment. If that continues to happen, then they would be more than happy to pick up Cell.
Yeah.
And also just quickly, Pred been playing Aussie 8s and absolutely frying.
Yeah, he would be.
Pred wants to play in an APAC Cup.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that myself. I was just about to say, where would you see him go? Because I don't see Mindfreak breaking up for like one cup. Just be like, oh yeah, Pred's going to play a cup. Like, he's been playing a lot with Devon that. He'd probably play maybe a cup with Devon, Zach and that. But if he did play, it'd be interesting because it'd be interesting to see them versus Mindfreak in a final. I think that'd be a banger.
I think it would be
take over the game.
He can pick whatever team he wants.
He would smoke them, but...
I want you, and we're playing, and everyone's okay. Sweet.
I think if Mindfreak want to win every single APAC Challengers Cup, I think one of them just says, "Hey boys, I'm away this weekend. You might have to give a sub."
That's probably the more like if someone's away, you just slide in perfect.
Yeah, but it could be like an ego thing as well for like Mindfreak if they want to verse Pred and maybe in the off chance win, but I don't know.
I mean, Pred and Fighter are pretty close, aren't they? Was that that they used to play together?
Yeah, they
as
play
well.
together on Renegades and
yeah.
Setsi, Fighter, Pred, Grimza, and who was the fifth?
I was gonna say Damage, but Damage was on Chiefs.
Yeah, so it was Zapper and Nimble.
Sets, Pred, Cream. Yeah, I can't
remember either.
Because I know Luca and Shocks come back and they played with Fighter and Pred and Cold War.
Yep.
Oh fuck knows, could be anyone.
Yeah, I can't remember. But as like someone was saying before, like remember all these boys in the APAC scene are working their 9 to 5s and they're coming out and playing Challenger Cups on the weekend. So like I don't imagine they've got a whole lot of free time outside of doing that. So I'm sure if one of the Mindfreak boys wanted to, as someone said before, take the weekend off and go, do some other stuff, I'm sure they'll happily sit out for a week while Pred's come in and works on his craft before going back to the States.
Pred could easily have a 2.0 for the whole tournament, I reckon.
Mate, it'd be... Watching him play ranked play on Australian servers, holy fuck. Like...
It'd be like Cardboard again, where he's playing from his bed.
Yeah, I don't think it'd even matter if they were hacking on him, to be honest, mate. Like, he was absolutely frying, and he wasn't even concentrating. He was talking about shit while he was doing it, and he was still dropping, like, 40, 50 bombs while chatting shit to Scrap as well. Like, it was just nuts.
I'm not surprised either. Like, the practice he's doing versus what he's playing against is just completely different. So
yeah,
on another level.
Wouldn't be easy trying to focus when you listen to Scrap talk about how he runs through a fucking screen door and shit either. Like,
yeah, fuck, that was funny. Holy shit.
And he's got to play as much as he can because if he wants to come back at the end of Major 1, he has to keep hot and show that he's still grinding the game.
100%. Got to keep those reps up.
Yeah.
You reckon? I reckon he could sit out the whole year and still.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if you
on
say
a top
no,
team
no,
next
I
year,
mean
like-
I mean if he wants to come back this year, he has to keep playing. Like you can't just not play and then.
I think a lot of teams would want him.
Yeah, I reckon
he can
just
sit there cold for ages. I reckon.
I mean, but coming up, if he comes back to a team like Optic, though, you'd want him, practicing his craft a little bit. Obviously, main thing you want him to do is obviously fix his outside of COD problems. So I guess if he's doing that, then it doesn't really matter how much COD he is playing. That'd be the number one priority. But at the same time, I mean, guess it'd just be most important him playing a chunk of COD just before he comes back.
Yeah, so we're going to move on now. Just got this screenshot to show quickly. It is the viewing highest matches for the 2 weeks. All of them, Gentlemates, top 4. Gotaga really has that buff going for the Gentlemates. You want to hope they start winning soon because otherwise they will start falling off because no one wants to go on Gotaga stream every week and watch these cunts lose.
How much are they paying him?
No, he
Holy
owns the
shit.
team.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he owns the team.
He's paying himself. That's fair enough.
Okay.
He owns the team. That's why people. He's like a massive streamer over in France, and
Yeah.
he owns the team.
He-
So
He probably kind of wishes half these series went to 5, like that LAT series. Probably
Yeah.
wish it went to 5.
Yeah.
They played an hour of ads and shit. Like, would be good for him and it would be good for the league. So
Yeah.
them getting 3-0 Kingo bodied, like, not good.
but yeah, and then
it's-
obviously 5 was. Oh, sorry, Jayden. FaZe and Thieves.
That's fine.
Best match of the 2 weeks, I think. It was absolute banger. But yeah, not much surprise there with the Gotaga buff. Seen Optic in there
That
once.
was
is
last
weird.
week, by the way.
The first week, yeah. It was for 2 weeks. That's the best match of the first 2 weeks.
No. Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, Optic on the top. But we'd only seen him once in the top 5. Not often you reckon you could say that over the last 10 years.
It's a good change because usually they are the top 5. Usually it's just all them with the viewership. So, but yeah, that's good to see a little bit of change. And now it's just all gorillas, mate. So, and obviously a bit of FaZe and the Thieves at the bottom. So, interesting change. 208,000's nuts, by the way.
Yeah, 208,000
Crazy
people
numbers.
are watching fucking Priest to get shit on every game.
Yeah.
Damn, my bad, Press.
That's our boy. That's our boy.
I know.
My bad.
So here we've got the standing so far. Obviously, oh fuck, is that rain outside?
Is it raining where you are?
Yeah, it's
A FaZe rain.
Is it
See
raining?
outside your window.
I'm gonna have to zoom out because.
Who said FaZe rain?
Zoom
Hey.
that out.
Give
Anyway,
me PTSD.
obviously we know the bottom team. You can't see it on my stream right now because my browser's been retarded.
Can't fix now.
Vegas.
I can't. Mate.
2-12 map count on 4. Not much to really say there, but it's an interesting looking ladder. You have FaZe down the bottom with Cloud9, who both teams thought they were going to be good, as well as LAG. Everyone thought they're probably all top 6 teams, and they're 3 of the bottom 4. You have Boston in the top 4, above Optic, which is interesting, but that's not that much different than what we thought. Yeah, any surprises? Any looking at this? What do you think? How different is this going to be to, I suppose, the start of the major?
I'm telling you right now, there's a polar bear in Arlington, Texas, in that top 5.
Boston's a genuine shock, mate. Like none of us even considered them to be 3-1 to start the season. So that's a huge shock where they are at the moment. But as we were talking about before, they've been playing their searches quite well, and yeah, having a good team in search will take you a long way to getting results. So
They've got a few comfortable hardpoint maps. Like they love red card, and I can't think of really the other map that they love. But like if one of the teams ban that, they can just pick the other one. So it's really good having a few maps where you're comfortable at, where you know that you can match it with the top teams on those maps.
Louiehh, what are your thoughts on the ladder so far?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty surprising. Like, I mean, we all thought that Optic and Ultra and Thieves would probably make up 3 of the top 5, or top 6. But yeah, the other 3 in 9th, 10th, and 11th, like you'd probably a lot of fans have probably thought they'd start off the season a little bit better than what they have done. I mean, C9 obviously with those server issues, you can probably chalk that off. I'd expect them to finish closer to the top 6 after the next couple of weeks of qualifying. It'd just be interesting to see if Carolina's hot run can continue. They're playing some really good COD. I mean, they 3-0'd FaZe, which, I mean, how often has that happened in the last 4 years?
Not many.
So yeah, what have we got left? Have we got 4 more series left for Major 1 qualies?
3.
3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to see a lot of it change. Like,
I'm going to quickly just have a quick look over about some of the teams who they've got left.
I know Thieves have Optic.
So you got like Cloud9 and LAG. That's going to be a banger match. Who, like, loser of that's in trouble. Optic Falcons, that's pretty easy. Minnesota, Toronto win that. Minnesota's probably in trouble. Cloud9 should get another win over Heretics. Vancouver should win. Boston,
that Breach Carolina series, that's going to be...
That's a good series.
Because I think if Carolina win that, Carolina are almost going to guarantee themselves a top 3 seed, where Boston, if they lose that, it could, they're probably going to fall out of the top 5 or 6. So,
LAG Toronto doesn't get much easier for LAG. They got Cloud9, then they got Toronto. Optic and Thieves going to be a banger. Minnesota, Atlanta could get it, start a run here, get a few games in a row, get a good couple of wins. Carolina versus Vancouver. If Carolina keep playing the way they're playing, they're probably favourites. Thieves should take care of Miami. FaZe and Boston.
Thieves might win a search.
Yeah, maybe.
That'll be a funny series to watch with the S&Ds.
The worst part is, though, the Thieves are going to troll that whole search and destroy. Like, it's just going to be non-stop trolling.
They'll play Skyline.
Yeah, I'd hate for them to lose a search and then lose a respawn. Gee, that'd make it interesting.
They'll play Skyline and just be fucking running everywhere.
Yeah.
Headless chooks.
Yeah.
You'd want to see FaZe maybe win 2 in a row here, but you never know. Boston could knock them off. Carolina, Miami, you should see Carolina win that. LAG will probably get their first win, maybe.
Gee, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
You'd hope so, yeah.
Vancouver and Minnesota, that could be a very important game for standings. Boston, LA Thieves, another one that's dangerous. Boston have already knocked off a good team. Atlanta FaZe and Cloud9, that will be a good one. Same as Toronto and Ultra. There's some good games for seeding coming up.
I mean, with how close the top 4 or 5 is, with the top 4 getting the auto buy, I mean, it's every series matters, which is good. There's from a viewing point, there's nothing worse than when you've got the top 4 cemented with two series to play each. So, I mean, with the standings the way it is at the moment, it just means that every series means a little bit more, and teams can't afford to switch off for 3 maps, because that could be the difference between you finishing with a buy or without a buy. So.
Well, you don't get buys in the major. In the minor, you do. In the
major,
that's
more.
Yeah, this minor is going to be very interesting. Love the color coordination. Shout out Case. Fucking someone got very lucky here. There's some good matches here. Like, you've got a possible LA Thieves phase, which will more than likely happen in a quarterfinal. Loser gets no points. Loser finishes top 8, which is crazy. Optic will probably win that. You got Boston Optic, another rematch. Cloud9 and Surge, winner of that plays Ravens, which will be a good game. And LAG and Rocker, the loser of this is in big trouble as well. You'd hate to see Rocker come out and lose to LAG after they haven't won a game yet. And Ultra have a good side, Ultra have a hard side of the bracket up there. Optic are the ones I'm looking at. If they're real fair dinkum this year with their team, they have the right side of the draw. They don't have Ultra, FaZe or Thieves on their half. They could easily make a good grand final run here, but they have to put it together. So everyone's thoughts, upcoming minor. We'll give, a couple of predictions. Who do you reckon's going to win? Who do you reckon's going to make a surprise run? And who do you reckon is going to be very disappointing? We'll start with Case.
As this has been online, I reckon if this was LAN and this was the same setup, that Cloud9 would give it a run. But I think just online and based on what we've seen, I think Royal Ravens can definitely get to the finals with their bye and straight into the semis, hopefully. I think Optic also have a good run, beat Falcons, beat Breach. They're probably two great matchups and probably what they wanted, so I think they'll have a great run to it. It's probably a shame that Thieves and FaZe are going to play off in the quarterfinals, robbing us of a chance to see them anymore, but in a big match. But yeah, I think this is Optic or LA's really, and I think LA are going to prevail here online. They're a bit of online players, you know. Scrap never good on LAN, gets 5-0'd on in finals, and yeah, just loves online tourney. So he'll be taking another Mickey Mouse chip.
Yeah, my bad, Ernesto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
But yeah, mine would probably be. If I'm looking at this right now, I think the winner of this, like minor, will be the winner of the Thieves and Ultra game. I think they'll be versing each other in a semi, and I think whoever wins that'll probably win the minor. Even though it is a bit of a Mickey Mouse comp, I think the boys will be hearing minor tournament. As soon as I hear that word tournament, there'll be a few of the big teams starting to step up. I think Optic will go alright as well. I think it'd probably be them versus the Ravens in the semi-finals, and that'll be a very, very good game. But yeah, I think either Thieves or Ultra will get away with the W here.
I think if I want to be anyone, I want to be Optic in this draw.
Yeah, 100%.
Even though they don't have a first round bye, I mean, they're going to get to walk into a Breach team. I think they take care of that pretty easily. And then I'm still not sold on Carolina. Like, they're playing some really good COD. I don't know. I think Optic have a pretty nice path to the grand finals.
I think with Optic as well, they're a team that plays better the more they play. Like, if I'd rather them have 2 games than have a break and then verse someone. I feel it's good for them to just keep on a roll, because when they're hot, and they usually keep that momentum going forward. So,
Jordie, give me a winner and your most disappointing team for the minor.
Just quickly on what we were speaking about Optic being the better, like having the better side. I think it helps also with them starting off first in the Falcons. It's like a bit of a warm up going into Breach, and I think even though Breach beat them in their first series, I think Optic run them, and that'll just be a very good warm up for Ravens, because that's probably who I'd predict to go towards semis. As of a winner, I would predict. I'm gonna go Ultra to win the whole thing. Biggest upset maybe. As of right now, I'd probably say FaZe lose to Thieves in that rematch.
I think FaZe can bounce back and get it done. Hopefully after this break that they show that they can do it. There's 3 matches to go as well in the major qualies, and I think they can really flip the switch and get a few wins on the board. End up 4-3.
It's hard. You can never write that team off like that. There's so much potential,
Yeah.
so much slaying power. I mean, they obviously haven't had the optimal start to the year, but yeah, you can't take that team lightly.
We saw a lot of teams last year in Major 1. They carried their momentum after Christmas into the actual major. So I think Heretics started 4-0, ended up in winners, qualifying 8th or something. I think 4-1, and then lost their 2 matches straight away. So it really shows that after this Christmas break, if you really hit the ground running, you can roll that into the LAN environment and get a few wins on the board.
And just on FaZe again quickly, same sort of thing with Optic. Like, if FaZe, if they grind out the break and they come back and beat Heretics pretty easily, I think it would help a lot going into that LAT rematch.
My big call for the tournament is Optic and FaZe both go out top 8. Optic lose to Boston, map 5.
Optic
My
lose
call.
to Boston.
Yep.
Wow.
That's just faded, but whatever.
Wait, I'm allowed my thing. I'm calling
We're
it
Alan
upset.
Walker in it. We're faded.
Broken clock's
Speaking-
right. Broken
speaking
clock's
of-
right twice today.
Speaking of opinions, Sterner, are you ready for some fantasy
Not
chat yet, or
yet.
what?
We got one more thing first.
Ooh,
We got one more thing to talk about first,
Ooh.
and that is the change of map set. So obviously we bring in Hacienda in all 3 modes, and Rewind goes out, Hardpoint and S&D. What's everyone's thoughts on this? How do you think it's going to affect
Mate.
the teams?
Case. What do you?
Mate, Hacienda's fucking terrible. I hate it. It's so bad. Like, these pros probably love it. A bit of euphoria, a bit of nostalgia, even from a few years ago. Was it 6 years ago
Did-
now, 2018?
Did
But, like,
you guys see Scrap's tweets about it today?
no, what do you say? Just
So pretty much more or less, I think like not. I think he's a fan of Rewind because it's not just a bang out map. You can't get broken, and you know if you get broken, you on that P3 hill, you pretty much you're in a lot of strife P4. Scrap didn't realize that the pros didn't actually vote to get rid of Rewind, and he was throwing a few barbs at the pros being shit for not wanting to for wanting to play bang out maps rather than like learn how to play good COD. He where is it? I think he might have deleted his tweets actually. I think I've just gone into his page and I think he's deleted his tweets. But yeah, he pretty much just called everyone shit and said them not wanting to learn how to play good COD on Rewind is oh no, here we go. Ben had a go at him. Ben Nassim said it's not what the fans want. They want watchability and good flow, which bang up maps do not have. And Scrap said, Ben, that's just not true. Fans don't care about watchability and good flow. They want to see someone have 50 kills a map. So yeah, I think Scrap is a little bit pissed that Rewind's gone in favor of Hacienda, but yeah.
I'd be right if Hacienda was actually okay, but like even on control, it is fucking no good, in my opinion. But I like to hear
So-
what everyone else reckons.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, I don't know when exactly it was, but Spence, someone remind me, pretty big up in the CDL owner or some shit. Who is he? Someone?
He's
yeah,
he's like a gameplay manager or something.
he deals with all the like competitive side to
Yeah,
CDL
so
League.
He was an old MLG
Yeah.
admin worker.
he was on the flank a few weeks ago or a week ago or something, saying that the maps would be taken out because they aren't getting played. And that was the only reason why they were swapped out, is because Rewind was the least least played.
Well, I think I
Yeah.
saw something today that they were. I think they were moving Rewind based on the percentage it was vetoed.
Yeah.
Which I think removing based on veto is, I don't know. Like if you are, say you are a Falcons or a someone that's not as high skilled as your top 4 teams, you don't want to play a team like that on Rewind. Because the fundamentals. If you get broken P3, you've given up a full 60, etc. You'd rather play a bang up map with more help from the spawns, etc. So
Yeah, my sort of opinion on it is Hacienda's amazing. I'm so excited to watch that on the pro scene again. Hardpoint S&D control, it sucks. Like absolutely horrible on control. Genuine dog shit on control. But some of the pro players on Hacienda we're going to be in for some good viewing. 110%.
case.
And Hacienda Hardpoint just doesn't play well at all. Like, there's so much shit that you need to watch, and like people are just sitting everywhere. The middle bit is fucking. It feels like you're playing some shit map, and that they've just created it yesterday, like one of the AI maps that they have in this game. Like, it's no different to a map where you can look over everything in middle. And some of the points are fucking shit. Like,
Yeah, P1 is very hard. I'll give you that.
especially on control too. Like the 2 points on control is just fucking terrible. They didn't play it back in 2018, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
We've got this sudden urge that control Hacienda is really good. Like, and
That's
now all the maps you bring back, like you bring back this map, like it's cool, but it's just not like some of the
I
other
mean,
maps.
I swear all the pros have been talking shit about like Hacienda control anyway. Like I swear leading up to it, they were all just like, "This sucks" on control.
I've got the tweet here from Breaking Point. So Breaking Point tweeted, Rewind, Hardpoint, and S&E were removed due to being the most vetoed maps in the pool, which is also faded. CDL teams were not polled on the changes. that's again faded. And then Easy Mac replied saying teams veto maps because they are bad at the map. The oppo is great on the map or trying to force another map or multiple other reasons that aren't just the map is the worst in the pool. They should be looking at that, surveying teams and using a committee to make the best choice, which I completely agree with. I think like at the end of the day, yes, without the fans we don't have a league because that's where the money's generated, but the teams should have a representative that's it should be the same as GAs. Every team should be represented, and there should be some healthy discussion back and forwards on what maps do we want in the map pool, what maps do we want out. I think it's wild that the teams weren't even apart from their veto percentages weren't even factored in the decision making.
I mean, I could be faded saying this, but like, does it really need to be taking maps out? Can't I just leave those maps in the pool and just have a bigger pool? Like, does that really?
It'd be imbalanced with vetoes, I think. I mean, correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be some sort of team A you'd get advantage. A bit like how they're bringing in Hacienda Control. It's just because it's playable and there's only two control maps, so it makes team B, team A, sorry, really, really one-sided because you can pretty much pick whatever map you want to play and control.
I think it's
yeah,
Team
that's
B.
fair.
I think it's
Yep.
Team B that's the best one because they actually veto the other map, so you have to play
Yeah.
the. So they have.
No, they get to
Yeah,
pick.
then.
They get to pick first search and second hard point. So therefore, they don't. It used to be like that, Stern, because you could.
Yeah, but they
pick...
veto the actual map, so they don't actually pick the
No,
map.
I don't think they do veto control.
I'm pretty sure they do.
No, because they get the first hard point,
Let me have a
they get
look.
the second search, and then they get control as well. Because how it used to be, if there's three maps, then it's team B sided. Because say you ban protocol, you get to pick essentially out of Hacienda or Vault now as team B. But now
Which
team
means-
A.
So
yeah.
Team B, right? Pick What is the question mark? That makes no sense. So I'm looking at breaking point. So what it says here is, yeah, like the map 4, they pick the hard point, and they pick the search, and they pick the control.
That's because the team A's vetoed it, so they auto pick it anyway.
Yeah, but there's a question mark.
So they're not really
What is
picking,
that
are
mean?
they? They're just choosing the one that's left over by the other team vetoing it. So essentially, team A is still picking it.
Well, okay, on the breaking point it says question mark on the veto, so I don't know if they even ban anything. It's just one team picks it.
Yeah, okay. But I'm pretty sure how it works is team A gets the pick after vetoes, the first hard point, the last search, and then they get to veto control first. So therefore, if they're vetoing one map, the other two maps are left there alone.
Yeah.
So then team B can pick. But whereas now there's only two maps, so they get to pick whatever they want to play team A. So that's why a lot of teams are picking team A if they're.
It's gonna be interesting to see who gets the hang of Hacienda first. Even like hard point search, they can jump ahead in the league.
My guess is Hacienda Control, auto veto.
Yeah, but that means
Yeah, I think
there'll be more protocol. So
yeah, we'll be seeing more protocol, I reckon, overall.
Excited to see Dashy back on Hacienda though.
yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing we're seeing more protocol control, to be
No,
honest,
I don't
either.
think
No.
I don't think
22
the
and
map's
2
that
was
bad.
crazy for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's acting like it's
No.
unplayable, but like I just feel like a lot of maps in like in the previous CODs, if you get 4 down, you pretty much chalked your offense, which how it should be really. Like you got to play your life, you got to try get out of spawn traps.
Yeah.
So if you are getting 4 down, like that's on you as a team.
100%.
You
Should play
get
smarter.
punished. So
Okay, well, we'll finish off the evening. We won't have cases multi because we'll do that before the minor when we have another episode. But we'll get into the fantasy. And as we look at the ladder, I don't want to look because oh damn!
Can you
can't
scroll
see me.
down? Can you scroll?
You can't see me. It's fine.
whoa!
You can't see it. It's fine.
Can we talk
Oh.
about can we talk about what happened in your matchup
No.
first?
We'll get through the matchups. Don't you worry.
I forgot I had a team name change as well. Forgot I did that.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll look at the week 2, where Ketsy versus Louiehh. Louiehh won 6-5.
Scheduling buys already.
Just
week
got
2.
over the round. Won most of the hard point stats. Search stats went to Hugh, and the control was back and forth. Louiehh with
Toxie, you done alright.
the old LA contingency. Done alright. He's currently 2-0 on the leaderboard. Then we
Damn,
go to
Shotzi and Kleenex, and he's still not winning. Like, damn.
Ripper and
yeah.
BJ. Ripper gets his win over BJ. Even with Draza stinking it up.
Yeah,
0-4-7.
Hydra had a stinker though. To be fair, I think this week. So
Ooh, Jack won the hard point pretty convincingly.
Probably thanks to Dashy, I'd say.
Dashy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Dash.
yeah, it was more
definitely.
And
Dashy fraud and Hydra didn't in
And
hard
Mac,
point.
And
Mac,
Mac, and Mac.
and Mac as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac took the
Shout out
piss.
Hugh. Shout out Hugh, franchise player.
Yeah. But Gwyn and Hydra,
He's looking like it.
Gwyn was doing his thing as well, to be fair.
Mm.
Just no one else really gave him the hard point this week,
I-
Hydra.
I spot a problem on BJ's team. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
red-
He's got red
big
hair.
problem.
He's got red hair.
Two fucking retard ARs. One red
This is
and
shit.
one.
oh, my bad, Eric. Insight. Wow.
Hey, and also one thing I have noticed. Wait, we'll go back into this. Look at Dashy's photo.
He looks like
They
he just
put his
got out
car.
of bed, doesn't he? Oh, what?
What?
They put his car behind him.
What the
What the
fuck? That's
Look.
it.
And then they're saying, who's got Kenny?
Batman.
Me.
Jordie. Look at this. Kenny's car's behind him as well.
Oh my.
What the fuck?
Well, someone at Breaking Point's an optic fan,
What
aren't
is
they?
this? What is this optic play?
Everyone's optic play.
Case just got over the line against J-Star.
Loadout matchup right there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come
Coming down to the wire though. Last
down
match.
to the wire very hard.
Nero
Yeah.
carries in control, but
Jodie and Sim did their thing. Kenny struggling, Celium struggling, Boozers.
Kenny.
Do you want to look at that?
Very
Jack-
Ripper says look at
Jack's,
his.
yeah, you look at Kismet apparently. Kismet's photo.
Oh, wait.
Is it his AI looking one, or is it changed?
What is that?
Oh my fucking.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. That's been like that. That's retarded.
All right, Stanley, get it up.
What? No, that's all we had to look at.
Really, really.
Not true.
How'd you go this week, Sterner? Give us the rundown.
How many players did you play against, Stearns?
It's all averages, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I was trying to counter that argument by saying the guy that didn't play was Pred. So
Yeah,
So true.
jump scare. Don't worry.
Whoa.
Holy moly!
They were pretty close. Like, look, our damage hard point was practically the same.
Pretty close. Have a look at the S&D, brother.
Yeah, the S&D was
Oh!
Wow.
And by the way, I just want to say the only thing that Pred disadvantages in the S&D, and I don't think it would have mattered.
Holy
Everything else, he just lifts those averages in the other departments.
Mate,
So
it doesn't really help when I've got Sib going a 0.7 in hard point, 0.78 in search, and a 0.76 in control.
I'll take him off
Yeah.
your hands. I've told
What-
you. I've told you multiple times throughout the week. I will take him off your hands.
and just
One bad
quickly,
player
I made a.
Really
okay,
drops
you
your
go.
team, doesn't it? Like one bad player and your averages just get dropped heaps. Like it feels like.
So for the
I made a bit of.
minor-
Ooh, sorry, Stan. Just
Okay.
quickly, I made a bit of a roster change as well. Obviously, I want to hold Pred because obviously he's said he wants to be back just after Major One, and I've had to pick up the very thin SMG options that we had. I've picked up metals, so
so
not ideal, but whatever.
for the minor, we have BJ versus Hugh.
Who do I verse? Oh, Stearns, that's right.
Yeah, Battle of the Shitters, me and Jordie.
Oh,
Both 0-2 right now. Someone's going to be winless, and it's probably going to be me.
I played Jayden. Yes.
Yeah, Jayden and Louiehh.
I think I might play with 3 again, Lou.
Go on. I'll play with 1, mate. I'll bench everyone and just play with Scrap.
That's right.
And
Gee,
then,
metals is a nice ball,
8-1
isn't it?
prediction.
and then Rip and Case. I was also made a change, tactical change, coming into the minor.
You got to
So-
do something coming off an 11-0 loss.
So in my team, it might look silly, but I have put Riao to the bench for Hook, just for the simple fact of being the minor. Riao will probably go out round 1, and Hook will go through.
Oh
It'd
shit!
So,
I
be also good to lift your S&D stats after last week as well.
yeah.
So,
Rio
and
wasn't really my issue
Miami's
though. There, I just need a Beezy to have a better fucking week. 'Cause
yeah, I mean Miami just suck at S&D, so it'd be good to have Hoop to be able to do at least something for you.
Because if I kept Rio in, it would literally be I could have 3 people out in round 1.
Miami play a lot of S&Ds though.
Yeah, they don't go any good at them though. Yeah. So, is there any other questions or anything maybe people want to talk about? Anything you want to bring up?
I'm 3-0 in my last 3 fantasy series.
Yep. Thanks for that.
I reckon you'll be a victor this week as well, Lou. I reckon my team's gonna struggle a little bit this week.
Yeah, I'm just rolling, mate. It's gonna depend on the generates probably. I mean, if they get
Yeah.
first rounded and they get slapped while doing so, then it might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've also got Lins as well, so I mean, I guess that's probably good for me. I don't know.
I've just
Yeah,
made a
I've
team
got a
change as
question.
well.
Oh, go, Jord.
I just
What are you doing?
benched Nero, put Snoopy in.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, that's nice. I got a question. Who do we think is the next, not next, but the first player that'll get dropped entirely, not like even moved to the bench, but just dropped and made to go back to challenges?
If it ain't
You got-
Charlie Hicksy or Estriel, we're
Yeah.
fucked.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say Stu, but it's
I think it'd be Hicksy, honestly. I've said it a couple of times on this show that
Dixie or
I feel like when they make a roster change, they'll be a lot better. So
And also,
Ooh.
do we think any coaches are under strife as well?
Crowder, I've already said it.
Do you reckon
yeah, but
Crowder's under strife?
I don't think they get rid of Crowder.
I think he's got a lot of credits in the bank, old Crowder. So
Yeah.
I think their S&D. I think their S&D gets worse if they get rid of Crowder. By the way.
Well, it got worse when they got rid of Tupac. So.
Yeah, that also
That,
didn't
that
help.
was known though. always gonna happen.
Coach under strife, fucking D-Real.
I don't know. I mean,
Looney?
No, he's actually got rocket like. He's doing a bit with what he's got. They're winning games while going neg. They got pretty decent teamwork.
damn scope.
I think that's pretty much it, though.
Scope's
I'm
fine,
ready
yeah.
for bed. I know that much.
Yeah, that's a good tweet. No,
Careful where you're scrolling.
Yeah, I know.
Up,
Yeah.
Hey,
this is dangerous.
This is
Yeah,
why I'm
trust
on
me,
the,
mate.
this is why
I'd
I'm on the
I'd
Hey,
get off
Joshy
the
Dobbs
For
is
You
there.
page. I'd get off the For You page because I was going through that on the Loadout Twitter before, mate, and there was danger in there everywhere. So
No, it's mum. Are you bringing a girl home for Christmas and it's Scump Envy versus Optic game 2? Yeah, that one.
timing.
I think one of the funniest clips I watched was when Karma Formal and whoever it was were reviewing that Optic versus LG series. That was pretty funny.
Talking about whose team was more toxic and
No. The one where Scump was playing out of pure rage towards Formal. Have you seen that?
yeah, that's
He's-
old as, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like he killed in that Hellstorm just for fucking Formal's backspawn.
Or Jayden, you fucking slacked off this week. Then get your top 5 players of the week.
Well, I was gonna talk about that. I don't know if we can at the moment because I know Zuma was getting flagged for having content up on his show.
We're pretty
Week
big time to be
before.
fair.
Yeah, like I'm.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it matters. I think Activision's just
Come
gonna
in and
flag it
optimize their
regardless,
PC,
so I
update
just-
their
yeah, I don't know.
motherboards,
Until we
tweak
sort of hear a
their.
bit more about that, yeah.
Did you see Nate shot skits about COD the other day?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
It's fair.
that was
100%.
100% fair.
Very fair.
Mm.
Oh, what about our boy
Like-
TJ? No.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly, we probably should talk about that. Like, Ricochet just doesn't exist, does it? Like, it's a myth that they've got an anti-cheat.
Yeah, it's bad.
Doesn't
yeah,
do
that-
anything. Doesn't flag anything.
Can't
Even-
remember who was talking about it. Sorry. They were saying on a tweet or like on the patch notes, like they're only targeting the top 250 teams, players for that Ricochet shit. So they're only looking at the leaderboards because that's what they said. They're looking at leaderboards, and then so like they're looking at like what, like diamond ranks. So the only leaderboard they'd be talking about is top 250 to ban
Yeah.
people.
Still riddled with fucking hackers anyway, so I don't know what
Yeah.
they're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Like, yeah,
Um,
they come out tweets saying, yeah, we're just looking at the leaderboards and trying to clean it up there, but like, there's only top 250 leaderboards, so they're really not looking into anything. And yeah, it's really just a myth to hopefully scare hackers away from actually doing it. But they were saying, like, Hex was saying that he thought it was like a third party that they hired, but it's literally just Activision's
Yeah, they've made it.
anti-cheat. So
Oh,
Activision
that's
just
not-
made it.
yeah.
And so it's not really
Yeah.
anything, because Hex is like, they need their money back, like, it doesn't work. And then Hitch is like, I'm pretty sure that it's just Activision's anti-cheat that isn't a thing, so.
like, yeah, if they really gave a shit, mate, they'd get in contact with someone like Riot, and they'd just be like, all right, how much money to loan out the anti-cheat you guys
Valve or
use?
something.
Yeah, whatever they use, mate, it works fairly well. Like, obviously, you play a lot of League of Legends, Lewis. How many times do you see a hacker in your game?
Oh, never. Literally,
Yeah.
pretty much never. And I mean, same probably for you, Jordie, with Valorant. Like, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just so
right.
rare.
I,
That's
I
how
don't
it should
know
be.
whatever Riot anti-cheat is, unreal.
I
Yeah.
reckon it's been. I reckon it's been years since I've seen a script only. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
Mm. And oh, just quickly, Lou, can you link Stern's that Shotzi clip of his movement off Top Gun? Fucking, that was fucking ridiculous.
Did you see
I don't.
what I
I
was just watching then?
Yeah, that was cool. That's what made me think about it. But that
This
clip
is
that Lewis
insane.
posted, holy shit, mate! Like,
Yeah, I know. I can find it.
And the funny thing is, he yells, "I'm doing the Shotzi."
yeah,
Oh my god.
TikToksy right there. But no, I'm gonna watch this clip again because it was crazy. Like,
Bring up
just-
the dashy clutch thing if you're looking at clips.
Oh, yeah.
He's dead, bro.
What he says though, he says some.
What the hell, bro?
He must have said
I
some
didn't
absolute.
link that one.
Stands. I tagged the.
Is it on
loadout.
the?
I tagged the.
Is it on the
loadout.
optic?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Optic posted that with comms, and they had to mute out what he said because it must have been
Smith stays
fucking.
alive. He's on the zone, finding the capture,
he's
but
like-
doing it alone. A
must have been
trophy
fucked.
is the only company he's got.
Yeah, well, and the entire Texas are gonna be his.
Word Kismet. Oh my word, Kismet stays alive. He's on the zone, finding the capture, but doing it alone. A trophy is the only company he's
15-minute
got.
video of the thieves comms last time was pretty good.
And the entire
Yeah, that was
Texas are gonna be.
Sick.
And you watched it.
Alright. Shotzi.
Later, Toasty.
this is disgusting, by the way.
Know this.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen this.
Watch,
Haven't you?
No, that's a nice little G slide.
mate.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I got you. No, I got your back, big bro.
What was his name? Booster?
You're all right side, right side.
It's just fucked up, mate. Like, guys are freak.
Nah, baby. They're building.
Just how clean it was off that top turret. This is ridiculous.
Where's he going?
Jump slide's pretty nice.
Oh,
Like
but
you get a really
Top
long
grandma.
animation with it. So if like you jump
Oh.
around corners and you can pre-aim it, and then
P2, Toasty.
I'm not sure about the zip shit though. I can't use it. Fuck.
Yeah.
You gotta time the jump so you land
No.
not at the top. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know where anyone's at.
I'd love to know what's going through his brain as he's doing it. It'd be interesting to hear his
Top
thoughts.
grandma.
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Goes into flow state. That's yeah, like
Clip that is.
it was brought up last year. Like there'd be times where he just like sort of just like blacks out and just like I don't know, just does his thing. And
You
they
still
just
know
leave him.
timings of spawners and stuff though. Like he's still reading the minimap. He's still reading the kill feed essentially, and like determining where they'll spawn and like pre-aiming there. Like you saw a few times, like he was in Granny's there, and he was just looking at the back spawn because he knew there'd be spawners back there. But obviously they've wrapped around trying to avoid him. So
Yeah. 100%. Right, we should probably round this up. We're closing in on
Yeah.
3 hours
Sure.
now.
It's our longest episode. It was meant to be a short one.
Yeah.
Just want to say thanks again for everyone tuning in. We'll be doing one before the minor to talk about predictions and have a bit more in-depth look at the minor. Talk about everything. Case will give you his multi and all that. Thanks for Louiehh coming on. He'll be in here and there, depending if he's at work or not. Thanks to the 3 co-hosts. Always here. You're doing a good job. And yeah, thanks for the support. Hopefully we continue to do this and bring you the content that you deserve. On that note,
whoa,
peace out, phase up, whatever.
Phase up.
LA.
goes up or fuck up.
LA baby.
Go Thieves.
You
Go
need
Thieves.
to. You need to.
Alright, catches, but